Bucks and the Governors, a rematch of last year's state championship game. Of course, Pierre won that one, but by the score of 35-7. But Yankton on homecoming night for the Governors came to Phil Troutner Stadium in Hollister Field this season and defeated the Govs by the same score, 35-7. Will it happen again? Will lightning strike twice? For the Governors, it usually doesn't happen when Steve Steele is around and his coaching staff. It's tough to beat a Pierre Governor team twice, and that is what's on the line tonight. Brian Oakland with the play-by-play, along with Caleb Brozick, who will run camera for live ticket. You can watch this game at drgnews.com on the River 92.7 page or on your DRG News app. Caleb's got it also through GoGovs.live, and we welcome everybody joining us on their big screens, thanks to whatever your online medium is. We have also William Wilson in the studio running this show from our DRG Media Group World Headquarters. Joining me tonight also with color commentary, Sean Lewis, former Governor defensive coordinator, and well, very big part of this run of championships that the Governors are still trying to keep alive. And Coach Lewis, when the Governors come in here to Crane Youngworth a few years ago on semifinal night, they came up with a big win, avenging a mid-season loss. They're trying to do that the same thing here tonight. But you look at this season overall for the Pierre Governors, and you know, I think a month, 4 or 5 weeks ago, certainly when Yankton came to Hollister Field, it didn't seem like either we'd be here or maybe thinking about another return trip to the Dakota Dome, but this is a completely different Governor squad than 4 or 5 weeks ago.
Absolutely. You know, that game took place in, week 4 of the season, and, you know, when you think of who returned what, Yankton at that point in time in week 4 with the most of their team returning should have been ahead of schedule or on schedule, you know, with the Pierre team that pretty much had to retool a lot of their offense and, you know, 90% of their defense. Week 4 is not probably in the schedule for the growth and maturation of this team, but as you've seen over the last few weeks, it's started to happen. It's coming together, and, you know, now we're in week 11. I think things are going to be pretty even this time around. That
last game featured maybe the start of a transition where we saw E.J. Bucci doing some running of the football out of the quarterback position. It didn't really go all that well that particular night, but boy, these last 3-4 games I have seen E.J. come up with big yards in kind of much-needed situations. Times to pick up first downs or even to punch one into the end zone. That's going to have to be a big part of the offense tonight, I think.
Yeah, and part of that, growth process over the year is just figuring out your identity as a team. You know, what are different things that we can do? You've seen sprinkles of it throughout the year with, you know, trying EJ at quarterback and doing a few other things. And now once you've seen more of that balance with the run game and the pass game, you've seen each phase of that game really mature and, you know, come into its own. And I mean, you've seen EJ also, you know, working on both sides of the ball and really becoming more comfortable playing both ways, and that takes a full season to start to get to. And, you know, like I said earlier, it doesn't happen in week 4.
Not only EJ Bucci, but Carter Merrill running the football out of the backfield, and, the running game has really come along, but that has helped, I think, junior quarterback Caleb Lounsbury settle in, and once he got Cooper Terwilliger back as a target, and you're seeing more maturation from a Carter Shufflebein, from George Stalley in particular, and I think even from Lincoln Dilgis. The receiving corps is doing their job, but it's really Lounsbury who's come a long way since that last meeting with Yankton as well.
Yeah, and really, I mean, you need one to set up the other, whether it's a pass game or a run game. You know, if you've got a good pass game, it lengthens out and spreads out the defense, and you can really start to hit and pick apart your holes in the run game. You know, and the same thing when you really get your run game going, they kind of tighten down, and that just opens up, you know, more holes, more seams up over the top, and you've really kind of, like we've said, when one got going, all of a sudden the other one started clicking, and it's like all phases of the game now are starting to come together at the right time.
Well, and one of those phases has to be the defense, too. It was a tough Yankton team to stop last time these two teams met. That fast-paced offense, the defense really didn't know what was going on, but you give Coach Steele, Coach Thorson, and all of these guys chances to kind of, rethink and retool, and now they're making adjustments. And you as a defensive guy, how do you make adjustments in preparation for this meeting here with the Bucks?
Oh man, anytime I got to play a team twice, you get the first time and it's kind of like a puncher's thing. You feel each other out. That second time, once I had a vibe on what you were doing and really got a chance to not only figure out what's your punch, but what's your counter punch, and then what I'm going to take away. Anytime you get a second crack, I mean, it's totally different. You can basically, chalk the first one up. Their pace of play with coming out, going no huddle, their experienced receivers coming back, a little bit of their speed, both on the line and everything else. Well, now there's no guessing. There's no secrets. You know what the speed is. You know what the pace is going to be. Now it's what are you concentrating on to take away to just say, you're not going to do this and force Yankton's hand into something else.
All right, looking forward to a lot of confidence on the Governor's side. We'll talk with Coach Steve Steele about things like that in just a little bit. And we'll take an opening 3-minute timeout. And as we get into our Bank West pregame show, Bank West for the best. We've got conversations with the coaches. Of course, starting lineups, game officials later on, but we'll take a look around South Dakota. It is semifinal night for the High School Activities Association classes, 9-man classes and the 11-man classes. 7 classes of games going on, 14 overall. We also have All Nations Championship football night going on in the Dakota Dome. We'll talk about that as we take a look around the state of football coming back. And Pierre Governors semifinal postseason football coming your way, and your official voice of the Governors, River 92.7 and drgnews.com.
From the early days of South Dakota statehood through today's digital revolution, Bank West has remained committed to helping customers and communities succeed. Bank West Associates uphold this commitment by developing innovative products, tailoring financial solutions to customer needs, and actively supporting community causes. For a bank committed to helping you and your community prosper, choose Bank West. Bank West, convenient, connected, committed. Member FDIC.
Are you looking to make a change? A career, not just a job. Beck Motor Company is seeking a dedicated and skilled general service technician to join our dynamic team. If you're passionate about automotive service and looking for a rewarding career, we want to hear from you. 2 to 4 years required minimum related experience and or training. Flag rate or hourly options available, 401k, free individual health insurance, paid leave, a company cabin in the Black Hills, on-site gym and more. Contact Dave Lemieux at 605-224-5912 or stop by Beck Motors for more information.
At American Family Insurance, we help protect what you've achieved so you can fearlessly go after your dreams. For auto, home, business, and life, contact us today. American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly.
American Family Insurance, Life Mutual, Standard of Ohio, Wisconsin Company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin, 53783.
Call the Brittany Shufflebine Agency, LLC, with offices in Pierre, Oneida, and Gettysburg.
Is it the competition that keeps bringing you back? The long-standing rivalries? Or is it seeing friends again and cheering on your favorite team? At First Dakota, we're here for it all. We appreciate the fans, the players, the coaches and officials, the concessions crew. The shared community experience is part of what makes life here great, and we're here for it. See you at the game. First Dakota National Bank, member FDIC.
Wegner Auto Company is a fourth-generation family-owned business established in 1907. We're the oldest dealer in South Dakota, and for more than 100 years now, we've been delivering quality vehicles with a commitment to customer satisfaction and service. Visit Wegner Auto in Pierre for your next car, truck, or sport utility vehicle, and see for yourself why we've been so successful for so long. Visit WegnerAuto.com anytime to browse the current inventory or schedule a service appointment. Wegner Auto in Pierre. Our reputation means a great deal since 1907.
There's an app for everything, including high school sports, from the stations of DRG Media Group. Download the DRG News app from the App Store or Google Play. It takes only a moment, so you'll have it in time for this game. See live and archived video of all games. And when you select your favorite station during the live stream, the video will immediately pop up. See Central South Dakota High School Sports on your phone or mobile device with the DRG News app. Download it now from the App Store or Google Play.
Back at Crane Youngworth Field, home of the Yankton Bucks, and for all of those on the road coming this way, and for whatever reason, we remind you on behalf of the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety, who celebrates being a part of a team, remember to buckle up every trip, every time, no matter how far. Buckle up, says the Office of Highway Safety of the state of South Dakota. It's Brian Oakland with semifinal night coming up, and semifinal night all around South Dakota. Here in Class 11 AA, the Pierre Governors come in 6-4. They take on an 8 8-2 top seed Yankton Buck team. And the other game going on tonight is in Watertown, where the second-seeded Arrows take on the third-seeded Brookings Bobcats. Both of those teams are also 8-2 on the season, but the power rankings had Yankton number 1, Watertown 2, Brookings 3, and of course the Governors at 6-4, the number 4 seed. But I think at this case, in this point in time, and doesn't really matter what the Governor record is, certainly nobody wants to play Pierre in the postseason, given their track record. Here's what else is going on in other classes of high school football. 11 AAA, a pair of 6 o'clock games, kickoffs, including top seed Brandon Valley taking on number 4 Sioux Falls Jefferson. The second seeded Sioux Falls Lincoln Patriots at Howard Wood are hosting 3 seed Harrisburg. Some good football going on in AAA. In 11A, it is Sioux Falls Christian hosting West Central in the 1 versus 4 game. Del Rapids, the second seed, taking on number 3 Lennox at Del Rapids. And then in 11B, top seed Sioux Valley is unbeaten, hosting Elk Point Jefferson, who has had some great success in the last few years. Speaking of good success, winner is a 2 seed and still unbeaten. They host the upstart St. Thomas More, the 11 seed in the Sodak 16 out of Class 11B, and that game is still scoreless, but they just are underway. And then we go to the 9-man classes. Top seed Parkston is unbeaten, and they take on number 5 Freeman Marion Freeman Academy tonight. A Highway 44 Hutchinson County battle there. Meanwhile, Hamlin is the 2 seed taking on number 3 Elkton Lake Benton. They played a few weeks ago, and Hamlin won that matchup 40-35. In 9A, top seed is Wall, and they're hosting Woolsey Wessington, a game that kicked off at 6 o'clock. No score on that one yet. They're into the second quarter now, so good battle on the Western Prairie there. Also unbeaten Howard against number 3 Warner, also unbeaten in Class 9A. In 9B, we've got a 6 o'clock game going on, and already quite a battle up in Oneida. This game on KGFX 1060 AM, 103.1 FM. The Sully Buttes Chargers trying to get back to the Dakota Dome. They're the 5 seed in the 9B bracket, but after a win over number 4 Corsica Stickney last week, they take on a Canastota Hawk team. A lot of tradition and winning tradition at that in Canastota. They come in as an 8 seed, but they knocked off top seed Avon last week, so it's Sully Buttes hosting Canastota. Right now they're knotted up at 12-12 just early in the second quarter. Already a good ball game. And up north of there, it's Faulkton area trying to get back to the Dakota Dome. They lost a year ago, but they have a chance to get back, as they'll have to get by Del Rapids St. Mary. And right now Faulkton has an early 8-0 lead, and they're only a minute into that game, so a good start for the Faulkton area Trojans. Now in the All Nations Championships, which are going on, the Class A Championship is in the fourth quarter in Winnebago, Nebraska, which is just south of South Sioux City, and they lead Pine Ridge 28-22. About 8 minutes to go in that one. When that one is done, we have coverage of the Class B Championship, and that has Lower Brule, who is the top seed in that bracket, taking on number 3 White River. Darren Boyle calls that one on 94.5 KPLO, also 100.5 in Pierre and Fort Pierre. Our first ever opportunity to do an All Nations Football Championship, and we'll keep you covered on that one coming up tonight as well. There's the schedule of games throughout South Dakota. Of course, coming up, we've got Pierre and Yankton here on River 92.7. Should mention the broadcast of this playoff game has been authorized by special arrangement with the Board of Directors of the South Dakota High School Activities Association. Let's take a 3-minute break, and we'll come back. We continue in our Bank West pregame show. We'll chat with the coaches. We'll hear from Brady Muth of the Yankton Bucks a little bit later on, but as usual, we start with Steve Steele, head coach of the 7-time 11AA state champion Pierre Governors. They've got a game to go before they can get back to the Dome here, but a big test standing in their way in the Yankton Bucks. Central Dakota Eye Care, keys to success are next. This is Governor Postseason Football, your official voice of the Govs, River 92.7 and drgnews.com.
From the early days of South Dakota statehood through today's digital revolution, BankWest has remained committed to helping customers and communities succeed. BankWest Associates uphold this commitment by developing innovative products, tailoring financial solutions to customer needs, and actively supporting community causes. For a bank committed to helping you and your community prosper, choose BankWest. BankWest. Convenient, connected, committed. Member FDIC.
South Dakota Storm Roofing is a locally owned roofing company in Pierre, specializing in both residential and commercial roofing services. They can handle your asphalt shingle, metal roofing, and flat roof needs. New construction, plus all types of roof repairs. They can handle the finishing touches, adding fascia, soffit, and gutters too. No job is too big or too small. For a free estimate, call Dakota Storm Roofing at 280-9794. Go to dakotastormroofing.com or find them on Facebook or Instagram.
Superior Concrete is proud to sponsor the Governors this season and just as proud to offer the finest concrete solutions available for commercial and residential applications, as well as foundation and flat work. The bottom line, if you need anything done with concrete, we can do it. Superior Concrete. Give us a call today for an estimate or more information. That's Superior Concrete. Find us on Facebook or call the office at 605-494-0102. That's 494-0102. Call today.
Century Business Products is a proud supporter of South Dakota High School athletics and proud to provide the most reliable Kyocera copiers and printers to schools and businesses in the area, all backed by their 5-time nationally awarded Kyocera servicing team. Are you looking to control color costs? Looking to reduce printers? Are you looking for more efficient ways to scan documents? Or maybe you'd like to become more paperless? Look no further than Century Business Products. Call 800-529-1950 and see how they're powering business technology.
With medical clinics strategically located throughout South Dakota and southwest Minnesota, Access Health provides comprehensive medical care for all ages, regardless of ability to pay. Whether your need is for a routine wellness checkup, attention for an acute illness or injury, or chronic disease management, the friendly staff at Access Health stands ready to serve you. At Access Health, your family will receive the high-quality, personal, customized medical care that you deserve without the wait. Access Health, where you are our priority. Contact your local Access Health clinic today.
The holidays are coming, and Oahe Federal Credit Union is here with their holiday loan special. Borrow up to $1,500 for 12 months at just 5% APR. Whether it's for gifts or travel, we've got you covered. Stop by or apply online, oahefcu.coop, and make your holidays stress-free with Oahe Federal Credit Union's holiday loan special.
People helping people, Oahe Federal Credit Union.
To win in 3 weeks over the Spearfish Spartans. 40-20 last week, Coach. And I mean, it took both teams a little while to get going, but that second quarter was a lot of fun, and it looked like you were really in for a barn burner. 21-12 at halftime, but then in the second half, you kind of shut the door and really took control of that game. And well, here you are going to Yankton in the semis.
Yeah, I think last week was a perfect example of taking the focus off ourselves and doing what we needed to do to be better than Spearfish on Thursday night. And a lot of credit to our defense for figuring out and troubleshooting what was kind of a new offense that they hadn't shown in about 8 weeks. So we did enough to survive in advance, and again, that's going to be the goal here tonight. All
right, and with the Yankton Bucks, a team that really got you good, I think, on homecoming night, and a team, you were still kind of feeling yourselves along, feeling things out with how this season was supposed to go. Obviously, you're a different team now, but give us the recap or how you guys were feeling after that loss on homecoming.
Yeah, I think that was kind of rock bottom for this team this year. We had a lot of injuries at that point in time, a lot of just question marks and pieces shuffling around. And I just think there wasn't a ton of confidence after that game. And I think that's been a long road to build that confidence back. But I think you've seen it these last couple of weeks where, a little bit of the swagger's back on both sides of the ball, and everything's just kind of starting to gel, and that's obviously been our goal the whole season. We told everybody we knew it wasn't going to be a straight line this year. There's going to be growing pains, and there definitely was. But hopefully now everything's together, and we're ready to go win a football game.
Yeah, so after that game, it was the loss to O'Gorman. Then you put 4 wins together. Granted, 2 against Spearfish, 1 against a better than their record says Sturgis team, 1 against Douglas. That's 4 West River teams that you've played, though. Is it going to be different, you think, coming in against a really top-notch East River team? Is there a difference in, do you feel, in 11-man football 11 AA East versus West, kind of like what you might see in 9-man football in South Dakota?
I mean, you never know. Watertown lost to Spearfish, so I mean that's one of those things where I think everyone would have said that should have, if that were the case, then why did that happen? And so every game's different. This is a really good Yankton football team. We're playing down here, a really hard place to play, but that just makes it more fun. We've got to find a way to end of the day. Doesn't matter if they're the better team than we are, as long as we're better today.
People know in Governor Land that nobody makes adjustments the second time around better than the Steve Steele coaching staff. You really kind of had to figure some things out since that last game about how difficult it was to play against their fast-paced offense. What's going to be the difference tonight?
Yeah, I think we had a much better plan during the week of practice for the preparations against that tempo. And I think that was kind of a really big challenge the first time, just from a substitution standpoint more than anything else. So I think that hopefully our preparation this week helped that side of it. I think guys are in better shape now. I think we're healthier now than we were then. And I think hopefully those things come together to make a better defensive effort.
And I think you bring just, to me, that just brings the word focus into play, especially on when you're battling something that you really haven't seen before. How much mental goes into this game, especially tonight?
Yeah, I mean, the mental part's going to be there, but, I think the beauty of the fast-paced offense is hopefully if you just line up and play. You're not worrying about a whole bunch of different things. It's, you get the formation, you line up, you get the call, and you play. There's less pre-snap stuff going on because it's so fast and the plays, there's so little time between them that I think it can focus you in a little bit, but we've got to be able to do that when we're tired too.
The Bucks always want to be physical when they play, especially when they're playing Pierre. They out-physicaled you that last time, didn't they? That's got to change tonight.
Yeah, they sure did. And, I think that's a big difference up front. I mean, we have two different starters on the O-line and two different starters on the D-line from that game. And, we've just got so many different faces in different places that, I really feel that we've gotten the lineup that we need that's gelled these last few weeks. And, they have the capabilities to go out and physical anybody.
Just one game away from another trip to the Dome. I mean, it's old hat for you guys, but it's something new to the guys on the field, isn't it?
It is, and I said that's the exciting part about this. The season's over for somebody tonight, and the most fun week of the season is for the other side tonight. And our guys all know what's at stake. They've been there before, and they have that experience. Whether it's on and hopefully they have the wherewithal to put through it tonight.
All right, keys to success, go.
Yeah, win the line of scrimmage. You've said it. I mean, if we can do that offensively, usually we win this football game. If we can't do that offensively, then that becomes a much, much taller task. And then defensively, playing with the pace. We'll find out if the plan worked in the sense of dealing with the pace, and if we can do that, and I think we have a good shot to be playing again.
All right, Coach, one game, go get it.
Thanks.
Steve Steele, the head coach of the Pierre Governors. Coach's comments and keys to success are brought to you by Central Dakota Eye Care in Pierre. We'll hear from them in just a moment, but I want to ask my own coach up here in the booth, Sean Lewis, about I think the confidence you hear in Coach Steele's voice. And like we say, and you know it as well as anybody, it's hard to beat a Pierre Governor team twice. No reason not to be confident here, is there?
Yeah, zero reason not to be confident. I mean, Coach Steele and I, we went out to eat after that loss to Yankton, and we sat and talked, and he was confident then. So that he's got confidence in his kids, and of things we've seen through Governor teams. I mean, we're playing the long game. Like that one game, yeah, it kind of mattered. It did. It was homecoming. There was some stuff involved with it, but ultimately, all of those games are practice and preparation until the real season, which is the postseason. And so, when you look at it from that perspective, and when you've got that kind of just confidence in yourself, your coaching staff, and your team to play that long game. Maybe the general fans aren't real happy with the outcome of the first one, but you know that you're preparing for something way bigger than that game, which is now this semifinal game, and then hopefully the opportunity to play in the Dakota Dome next weekend.
Now, for the kids on the field who have experience from last year or from the last couple of years, they kind of know what tonight's all about. But for a guy like Caleb Lounsbury at quarterback and some of the younger guys who have had to come in and fill holes and contribute this season, obviously they're not rookies anymore. But how do you tell them that this isn't that big of a game? You got to treat it like another game.
You just echo those words, and you know that they're gonna have their butterflies.
Sure.
You just got to reiterate to them that those butterflies simply mean that your body, your mind, everything is ready to go, because ultimately once that kickoff goes and those whistles blow and you're in between plays, it's the same old thing you've been doing day in, day out in practice, game in, game out. And so all you really do is when you just slow the game down, focus on one thing at a time, nothing is different, and the moment never gets too big.
All right, there you are. Keys to success from Steve Steele and from our own Sean Lewis this time around. Brought to you by Central Dakota Eye Care. We'll hear from Brady Muth, the head coach of the Yankton Bucks, as he tries to get his team back to the Dakota Dome as well. Coach Muth is up after this from Central Dakota Eye Care in Pierre. This is Governors Semifinal Football.
Did you know 16 million Americans suffer from dry eye? Hi, this is Dr. Nick Marso of Central Dakota Eye Care. Along with providing comprehensive eye exams evaluating vision and health of your eyes, we now offer IPL dry eye treatments. OptiLight IPL is a new innovative light therapy treatment for dry eye and is FDA approved. Also available at our clinic are dry eye products and supplements. Call us today, 224-6128 for more information and to schedule an appointment. Central Dakota Eye Care, 640 East Sioux Avenue in Pierre. Better vision for a great life.
All right, our keys to success will continue with Brady Muth, the head coach of the Yankton Bucks, the number 1 seed in the 11AA postseason this year, coach, and a great regular season. You start the quarterfinals last week. You had that win over Aberdeen Central, and looking at the scores, obviously you're able to kind of roll up a lot of points on some of the teams that have had their struggles this year. You're managing games. It looks like scores like 28-6 in this win over Aberdeen Central. Is that kind of how it feels? Is it just a good game management team, the way things are setting up at the end of the regular season, now into the postseason?
I think we've really progressed into a team that, our mantras kind of take what they give us, and so that finding ways to win for this team has been the thing that I've been the most impressed with them.
Yeah, and coming back after into the Dome last year, obviously losing to the Govs, the team you'll see here tonight. I imagine a team that's got unfinished business on its mind all season long, right?
Well, I think Pierre is an awful lot like Yankton, where every season the expectation is a championship, and so, every season is its own thing. But yeah, you're right. Pierre, when people ask me who I thought the top team in AA was going to be, I said it was going to be Pierre, because they're going to stay that way until somebody changes it. And in my mind, they're still the team to beat. And so, for us, that's the team that's in the way of us getting to a championship game. It's the next game on the schedule, and it's a Super Bowl.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a good way to look at it too. You came to Pierre. It was their homecoming night, 35-7 back in September, and obviously I think you were the team that was the more further advanced team at the time. But one thing I'm sure you know about Pierre is that it's a different beast in the postseason when you see them, isn't it?
Coach Steele does a really good job of getting his team to progress to the point where they're going to have success in the postseason, and you're exactly right. The team that we played early on in the season was a team that was learning a little bit about themselves. They've got a lot of talented players on that roster, and so, in my mind, it was just a matter of time until things got to where they belong as far as Pierce's perspective is concerned.
So as you prepare for this game and X's and O's, I know you've told me before you always like preparing for Coach Steele or Pierre games, but what are the things you really have to prepare more for this year than the first time you played them this year, or for this time around?
Well, at this point in the season, they've found a lot of success in their running game, and so then the success they have in the pass game comes off of play action plays, and they've got some really good receivers and some big targets downfield in spots where people have to do a lot of things when you play Pierre. You've got to make sure you're lined up right. You've got to make sure you can stop the run, and then you've got to make sure that you can cover up in a play-action situation. And so a lot of the success that you're seeing here in the second half of the season is them really leaning into their personnel and like I said, doing a good job of putting their players in the best position to succeed. And at this point, I think they've got a pretty good recipe for that.
All right. And for your offense, keys to success, you've been able to run a fast-paced offense. That really kind of got to them the first time around. What are you seeing from their defense lately that could cause some challenges for you?
It's the same pure defense as it's been for a long time. They play very physical, aggressive defense, and it causes a lot of problems for an offense. So there's a lot of moving parts. As I said, and on defense too, they've kind of settled in where they've got guys that really understand their roles very well, and they're playing at a high level. And so defensively, our offense has to match their physicality, and that's the lesson we go into Pierre every game with. We have to be the more physical team, and typically that's a challenge.
All right, Coach, can't say it enough. Looking forward to this one. I think just another good game and another great rivalry going on here tonight. Best of luck, all right?
Thank you very much.
Brady Muth, the head coach of the Yankton Bucks. Always appreciate his time and his comments and keys to success. Sponsored by Central Dakota Eye Care in Pierre. The teams are on the field. They're getting lined up for our national anthem. Let's take a 2-minute timeout, and we'll come back for the starting lineups. Postseason coming up. Semifinal night on the way. Pierre Governor football and your official voice of the Governors. River 92.7 and drgnews.com.
Building supplies, there's no need to go anywhere except to Bauman Lumber in Fort Pierre. Bauman Lumber is locally owned and offers quality products, expert advice, free estimates, and free local delivery for large or small projects. Whether it's a home improvement project, remodel job, or all new construction, they even welcome special orders. Quality building materials and affordable prices for residential or commercial projects can be found at Bauman Lumber, 1223 Sale Barn Road, Fort Pierre, or call 223-9762.
Do you love watching high school sports but find yourself wanting to be more involved? Live Ticket TV has the solution for you. They're looking for production managers to assist for this school year. Duties include the management of equipment as well as a basic technological understanding. But don't stress, paid training will be provided. Part-time wages starting at $20 an hour. Call 833-605-LIVE, extension 3. That's 833-605-5483, extension 3, and punch your ticket to joining one of the fastest growing companies in South Dakota.
Chances are you're overlooking a big energy thief in your home or commercial building. The Garage Doors. But Overhead Door Company of Pierre can help stop that energy waste with a full range of insulated, weather-tight garage doors. Their residential garage doors give you insulated performance at an uninsulated price. And their Thermocore insulated steel doors give commercial buildings the energy efficiency they demand today. Find out more. Call Overhead Door Company of Pierre at 1-800-649-9905 and put a stop to the garage door energy thief.
This is Coach Scott Nye from your Pierre Governors and the team at Ranky Gray Wealth Management, where we focus on coaching something just as important, your finances. Everyone needs guidance through life's key financial decisions and challenges, not to mention the opportunity to feel confident that their retirement strategy will help them pursue the lifestyle they've dreamed about. As you're looking for the right team to assist you, we're right up the street and ready to provide you the help that can make all the difference. Contact our Pierre office today by visiting rankygray.com.
Driven by the Office of Highway Safety. River 92.7, KGFX-FM, Pierre. Leave sooner, drive slower, live longer.
Back again in Yankton, the Bucks will host the Pierre Governors. The winner on to the Dakota Dome, and the winner of this game will take on the winner of the 2 versus 3 game in Watertown at the Stadium of the Arrows. Host the Brookings Bobcats. Scoring updates throughout the evening, but let's continue in our Bankwest pregame show. It's time for the starting lineups, and the starters are brought to you by Envirotech in Pierre. Meeting the Yankton Bucks here tonight, as they'll be led by quarterback Easton Nelson. Nelson is a 180-pound senior. Evan Sirk is the featured tailback, a 160-pound senior, and they use an H-back or kind of a utility guy in the backfield. Bryce Krall is a 205-pound senior in that spot. 3 wideouts will include Carson Ness, the 175-pound senior, Cohen Zarbach, also a senior at 175, and in a slot role, it'll be Connor Slava, the senior at 165. And the offensive line, the center is Mark Cathell, senior at 230. Left guard is Derek Beal, a big 270-pound senior. Peyton Eustace, a junior at 230 on the right side of the guard spot. Austin Conway is the left tackle, a 255-pound sophomore. And Lucas Cordell, the right tackle, at 260 and a senior. On the defensive end, big Derek Beal is the nose tackle. Also Riker Frang, a defensive tackle, a senior at 240 pounds. Athletic on the defensive ends, including Edley Amaro, a junior at 225. Easton Feeser is a junior at 190. Linebackers are Bryce Kroll and also Matthew Sheldon, a 230-pound senior, both very good, very athletic middle linebackers, but they have a loaded defensive backfield. On the corners, they use Miles Drotzman, a sophomore at 160, and Bodie Thurman, a senior at 165. Carson Ness is the strong safety. Cale Hasselhorst is a junior at 185, the free safety, and they also employ what they call a rover. That's a senior at 180. His name is Mac Grotenheis. The Yankton Bucks are head coached by Brady Muth. Starting lineups for the Pierre Governors from Envirotech, still kind of the same as Caleb Lounsbury is the junior 170-pounder. Tailback is Carter Merrill, the junior 175. On the wideouts, it's George Stalley and Carter Shufflebine, who will have hope to have big nights tonight. And the third wideout, when needed, is Lincoln Dilgis, the senior at 160. Tight ends, Cooper Terwilliger, the sophomore at 225. Obviously going to have a big night tonight, along with Coulter Babcock, 220, and a senior. On the line, it is Bryson Wallman, the sophomore at 205. The guards are Jacob Mikkinen, the senior at 255. Zayden Rounds, the senior at 260. Also the nub guard, Max Bogenhagen, a junior at 255. Ty Michael, the senior 240-pounder, lines up at the tackle spot. In the defensive setup for the Governors, it's the nose tackle Baxter Schremp, 265, and a senior. Flanked on the sides by the tackles, Ty Michael and Jacob Mikkinen. Linebackers on the outside, big E.J. Bucci, senior at 225, and smaller Lincoln Schoenhardt, the junior at 160. Both have played big of late. Max Hunsley is in the middle at 175. Trevor Rounds, the 185-pound senior. Middle linebackers there. The defensive backfield, the youngster Porter Hunsley, 160 and a freshman. Also Carson Stoser, all ESD in the backfield, senior at 160. George Stalley's the strong safety. Sutton Sonnenschein off of a 2-interception performance in the win over Spearfish a week ago. The free safety, the sophomore, at 160 pounds. The Pierre Governors and their Envirotech starting lineup are head coached by Steve Steele. He's assisted by guys like Thor, Nye, Spore, Magic, Schleckaway, Kaiser, Trow, Slice, Royer, and Dinger. Those are your starting lineups, brought to you by Envirotech and Pierre. Let's hear from them. Let's hear from Comtech. We're kicking this thing off for a trip to the Dakota Dome in 1 minute. You're listening to Pierre Governor postseason football.
Envirotech makes life a little bit simpler. No matter what the circumstances, no matter what is handed to you, Envirotech has you covered. One call is all it takes to have easy setup, easy pickup, and easy payment. Call Envirotech at 224-4804 or use their website to pay your bill online at envirotechwaste.com. Use the mobile app Waste Connect. Check their website or receive a robocall for collection schedule due to weather or holidays. Envirotech has you covered.
Comtech has your technology solutions. Check out their showroom located right off the truck route on Irwin Street. Come in and see what you've been missing. A large selection of TVs, sound systems, and smart speakers, PCs, desktops, and tablets, home and business security and telecommunication systems. Comtech is your all-in-one solution for any technology needs. Wishing all athletes the best of luck in today's competition. Comtech. Come see what you've been missing. Every day you share personal information about yourself with others. You may write a check, charge fuel, rent a car, mail your tax return, schedule a doctor's appointment, or post something on social media. Each transaction may share some sort of personal information such as bank or credit card account numbers, social security numbers, name, address, or phone number. There are unscrupulous individuals, identity thieves, targeting these routine transactions trying to gain your information to commit fraud. If you think someone has stolen your identity, contact Consumer Protection at 800-300-1986.
Back at Yankton, and our Bank West pregame show coming to an end. We've heard from Comtech. We'll have our Comtech opening kick momentarily. We also just heard from the South Dakota Attorney General's office and their Division of Consumer Protection. I almost forgot to give you the law on the field tonight. Our game officials from the Sioux Falls area, licensed by and assigned by the South Dakota High School Activities Association to officiate this postseason contest. Tonight's law on the field, who we always thank for doing what is many times a thankless job in officiating high school sports, are headed by the referee, Derek Omi. Umpire is Steve Creer. The head linesman is Matt Heeb. Line judge, Casey Volker, and Todd Lamberty is the back judge. Thanks, guys, for being tonight's law on the court. Derek Omi, Steve Creer, Matt Heeb, Casey Volker, Todd Lamberty. Your law on the field from the South Dakota Attorney General's Office, Consumer Protection Division. The Governors will receive the opening kick from the Bucks, and as you watch this one at drgnews.com, the River 92.7 page, also the DRG News app or gogovs.live, the Governors will be in home white tonight with the green numbers, green helmets, green pants, and heading from right to left. Yankton in home red with the white pants, white numbers, big red helmets as well. And boom, it is a Villanueva kickoff for the Bucks, taken at the 11-yard line on the far side by George Stalley. Up the numbers, 20, 30, out to the outside, and taken down at the 40-yard line. A nice little charge by George Stalley to get things going. Pierre will have it 1st and 10 at their own 42-yard line. Nothing like a good little kickoff return to get your team jump-started. Coach Sean Lewis.
Absolutely. You want to start off, and we have not seen a ton of special teams, big plays yet out of the Pierre Governors, but, you know, they kind of pick and choose who they're putting where, and it's postseason time, so everybody's got to go, and I think we're going to see a healthy George Stalley all night long.
1st and 10. It's at the 41 here for the Govs. Under center is Caleb Lounsbury. They'll start to the right side with Carter Merrill as he runs into a wall. Kind of beginning with his own blocking core on the right side. He hesitates and then comes back a little bit to the left. It'll be a pickup of a yard for the Govs. And Carter Merrill, who has been so good for the second half of the season, going to try to have a big old night tonight. But that all begins with the offensive line.
Yeah, you saw in the preseason comments by both the coaches what they mentioned. They said in the trenches, and you just saw the fighting in the trenches right there. So I expect that we're going to see that battle just take place all night long.
Our hash mark over the middle and wide open at the 30-yard line. Carter Schuffelbein, touchdown. He gets behind the defense. He hauls it in, and there's nobody in front of him. A beautiful throw by Caleb Lounsbury, and Carter Schuffelbein is in from a 58-yard touchdown pass. The Governors already up 6-0.
Oh, man, what did we talk about on the way here? The run game of Pierre that now is a threat, and the focus opens up a pass way over the top, and there was nobody wider open than Carter Schuffelbein. That was an easy catch and throw for a Governor touchdown.
58 yards, and finally, one thing that the Govs, I think, have been waiting all season to do is go up over the top for a long one. Carter Templeton, the kicker, has his PAT up and through. We are less than a minute in, 49 seconds to be exact. It's 7-0 Governors. We pause for 30 seconds. Pierre will kick off when we return. It's Pierre postseason football.
Well, what if we told you we do? We're American Bank and Trust, where what if meets why not? If you're ready to change what you get out of banking, start a relationship with us. What if you made the move today?
When you're thinking of a new or used car, motorcycle, pickup, or RV, think of us. We make all sorts of vehicle loans. We can set you up with payments that fit your budget. So if you have getting some new wheels in mind, stop by and see us. We'll get you the right loan. Dakota Plains Federal Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA. We're big on you.
We're small enough to know your name, but we're big on you.
Welcome back to the Oahe Federal Credit Union Press Box. Oahe Federal Credit Union, where people are worth more than money.
For the Bucks, boy, tough, hard yards gained, but finally wrestled down by Lincoln Schoenhardt. It is, I believe, was it number 0, Owen Eidsness, who was on the return. And it'll be Yankton football in this fast-paced offense, and the 44-yard line is where they will start. Pierre takes 49 seconds to get on the board. We'll see what kind of response Yankton has coming up. And we'll see if I can keep up with this fast-paced offense. Easton Nelson is the quarterback. Evan Sirk will take the inside handoff. He trips up a little bit as he crosses the 45-yard line. I think he tripped over an ankle of one of his linemen.
Yep, yeah, absolutely. E.J. Bucci squeezed that hole down, kind of pushed his tackle right into him, and he tripped over the foot, and that's just squeezing a hole.
Nelson wants to throw here over the middle, has his man at the 45, and a big gain. Carson Ness, his favorite receiver, is taken down by Porter Hunsley, but not until he is inside the 35 of the Governors, all the way down to the 30-yard line. That's a big gain of 23 yards. Nelson to Ness. And that one was wide open. Yankton's going to move quickly here. First down, they'll go to Cirque again. Hit at the 30-yard line of scrimmage. Max Hunsley, who had the stop on previous play, is also tackling on this one at the 29, a gain of 1 for Cirque.
And you're going to see, I mean, they're moving fast. There's not a lot of time to, think. So it's hurry up, get set, and, forget about the last play. You're on to the next.
2nd and 9 at the 29-yard line. Right in front of us are the Govs. We are on this end of the field. Pocket collapsing, and down goes Easton Nelson. E.J. Bucci is there. First one to get to him, I believe, is Baxter Shrimp. Shrimp with a quarterback sack. This is a loss on the play of, where do they spot him? The 36-yard line. A loss of 7. It'll be 3rd down and double figures from there.
And ultimately in the first game, that was the thing that was missing. There was little to no pressure on the quarterback. Yankton's offensive line was moving around. Now you're seeing him scrambling, and when you start to scramble, you start to make bad decisions, and here we go.
Govs come after him again as Nelson tucks and runs to the near side inside the 30s, pushed out of bounds by Lincoln Schonard at about the 25, and they may spot him. Now right there at the 25, so a gain of 11. No first down yet. They've got 4 yards to go. Make it 5. And they're going for it on 4th down here. Big try for Yankton as they're already down 7-0 early first quarter. They'll roll to the left. Nelson tosses. He's got a man out there. Ball is caught. Then it's a first down. Is running out of bounds as Connor Slava, the slot receiver, take him to the 18-yard line. A pickup of 7.
Yeah, pretty good coverage right there. I mean, the play took a little bit longer for the Governors to get any pressure on him, but, you see, like I said, good coverage, just one guy kind of slipping out of there, and, good call by Yankton ultimately to go ahead and say, hey, we're not taking a field goal or anything else here. We got to keep on staying in this game.
From the far hash mark, Cirque trying to slip through again, is inside the 15 to the 14, but I think he got tripped up once again, and that may have negated an even bigger gain, but Jacob Mickinen in on the stop. This is a gain of 4, and Yankton moving quickly again. 2nd down and 6, 9 minutes to go. Quarter number 1, 7-0 Governors. Nelson has the snap. He rolls this way to his right as Rounds hits him as he throws, and the ball is picked off into the end zone.
Pass is intercepted in the
Intended receiver is Owen Eidsness, but closing speed by George Staley to pick it off in the end zone. And the Governors will have a touchback. It's 1st and 10 at the 20. Defense comes up big, Coach.
Yeah, I mean, you've seen some retooling of different people who are now healthy that are playing, different people who've moved to different spots because of injuries, and another X factor is just now having George Stolley healthy to be able to be out there. The kid's lightning fast, and so I don't care if he looked like he was 6 yards away. He's got the ability and the know-it-all with football to be able to get there. He knows where it's at. He went and got it. The quarterback was eyeing his guy down when he was on the run, and that's an easy pick in the end zone.
So a touchback has the Governors leading 7-0 still, and they've got it 1st and 10, heading right to left, west to east here at Crane Youngworth. Pitch back to the left side, and this is Carter Merrill. He'll be stacked up and wrapped up after a 2-yard pickup. And let's see, guys like Talon Kinney in on the stop. Riker Frang in there, Bryce Kroll as well.
At the 22
Actually, it's 8,
line.
not 9. I said Talon Kinney. Bryce Kroll is the number 8 guy out there. And that's a 2-yard pickup for Merrill. He's been wrapped up a couple of times. Governors scored 58 yards out on their second play from scrimmage on their opening possession, and they lead 7-0. Now Lounsbury wants to throw again. He'll throw over the middle, and this one overshot as he looks for Schuffelbein. Schuffelbein also protected or covered by Cale Hasselhorst. Hasselhorst had an opportunity to pick that one off himself, but the Governors fortunate to still have a 3rd down opportunity coming up. 3rd and 8. Ball on the near hash mark. 8:12 to go first quarter. Coach, I really want to ask you about Yankton here in just a little bit, but go ahead.
Yeah, you're seeing a couple different formations here by Coach Steele, so he hasn't really done a lot of motion, but he's just seeing what the Yankton defense is giving him, and so far, that 7 route over the middle has been there. It's just a matter of having the time to be able to get it.
Empty
and I think
backfield.
it's something they're going to come back to.
Rolling out, and the pass is thrown, and pass is caught. Ahead of the 30-yard line, he has Schuffelbein. This is a gain of, line to gain +1. They'll pick up 9. Bodie Thurman is there to stick him, but a nice play and a good rollout by Lounsbury to Schuffelbein, who caught the 58-yarder, 1st and 10, 31-yard line. From the far hash mark as the Govs get ready to go again. The Governors, they may huddle tonight, actually. We don't see that a lot. They're not huddling here. Another thing you'll see tonight, if you're used to seeing the Governors in an unbalanced offensive line, they're going balanced a lot tonight. That was the plan, according to Coach Steve Steele. Short side, far side, Merrill goes right side. Up the numbers, we got a flag resting on the 0 of the 30-yard line on the far side, however. And Riker Frang stops Merrill, but we've got a holding penalty that will take away what could have been a 6 or a 7-yard gain on first down for Carter Merrill. So the first penalty of the night goes against the Governors, and they'll be backed up to the 21-yard line. One thing I want to ask you, Coach, about this one, and this is, you think about this game, I believe all the pressure in this game is on the Yankton Bucks. I mean, it's a team you don't want to play in the postseason, and the Pierre Governors, we've talked about that a little bit, but Yankton really wants to get back, and I mean, how big of it would it be for them to knock off and to end the reign of the Pierre Governors in a game like tonight?
I mean, you heard it from Coach Muth. I mean, the kids, the pressure's been put on. He's called this the Super Bowl. I've heard him refer to us coming down here, regular season calling it the Super Bowl. And so, I mean, when you're communicating that to the kids, I mean, they absolutely want to knock us off, but it's one thing to say it, it's definitely another thing to do it.
Lounsbury wants to throw, first and 20, throws off his back foot, and he has to get rid of it as there is Bryce Krull right in his kitchen. He'll put Lounsbury to the turf all the way back inside the 10-yard line, but it is a second down and 20 coming up. This is a case where the Governors may just have to be content to this is a case where the Govs may have to be content to get whatever yardage they can. Lounsbury has some help in Merrill in the backfield, but two receivers, Stalley and Shufflebein, come to the near side right. They'll pitch it back the other way, and just across the 20, maybe to the line of scrimmage, but Merrill is hit hard. And again, the running game has to just get what it can, but once again, Bodie Thurman in on the stop. I don't want to pick on Bodie Thurman, but he's the guy that actually got burned for the 99-yarder in the Dakota Dome a season ago. It's just a memorable play for the Governors, and just a big play in that one that helped turn the tide, and the Governors won their 7th straight. Obviously, the Bucks are trying to keep that from happening here again. Now 3rd and 20. The Governors go for the downs again. We'll find out. Stepping up in the pocket, a floater by Lounsbury. He's looking for Stalley. He's got it as he's across the 50-yard line. I wasn't sure from this angle if he'd hauled it in. We're waiting on the basically the reaction by the Governor bench and the Governor fans across the way, and Stalley on a diving grab has it at the Yankton Buck 49-yard line, a gain of 30 yards on the toss, and Lounsbury floats another one in nicely.
Yeah, just when you think, Steve Steele's going to throw some short routes, just protect a little field position, he, has George Stalley up over the top, and I mean, it took a little time. You had to see, Lounsbury step up in the pocket there, and he did. He did a good job of just staying with it, step up, and delivered a strike.
Lounsbury's going to run out of an empty backfield on first down from the 49. They had trips left. Lincoln Dill just came in as a 3rd receiver. Cooper Terwilliger was flanked wide to the right. We'll see if that's setup continues, but this is a 2-yard gain to the 47 by Caleb Lounsbury. 7-0 Governors, still first quarter. 5:37 to go. Clock is running. 2nd down and 8 just across the 50 on the Yankton side of the field. Far hash mark for the Govs. They try the freeze play, and Yankton jumps enough. Edley Amaro, always with a high running motor, cannot stay behind the line of scrimmage. This will be an encroachment penalty against the Bucks, and the Governors will get a 5-yard helper to the 42, and it'll be 2nd down and about 3.
Yeah, Edley's aggressiveness. I mean, that's what you're going to get when you've got that concentration being put on that line. And I'm sure a lot of pressure for him to lead that defensive line of this Yankton Bucks. He's going to be wanting to pin his ears back and come. So you got to slow him down if you can.
Bobbled snap here. Lounsbury just has to pick it up and try to get what he can. And he may get a yard out of this, closer to the 40-yard line. Looks like he's got to the 42. Derek Beal is in on the stop. Big fella bringing down the quarterback. And we'll give him actually no gain. It's at the 40-yard line still. 3rd and 3 coming up for the Governors. They're looking to add to a 7-0 lead.
And you see Elijah Bucci come in. You've seen him in a bunch of short yardage running situations. They need a hammer. Who can they go to for 3 to 4 yards? And That's the guy I'm
Bucci
giving the ball
gets it to the line of scrimmage. He bounced out, spun out of there, and then as he tries to get to the far side, he dives. He's tripped up, but he does dive ahead to the line to gain. It's going to be a Pierre Governor first down to the 38-yard line. 4-yard gain for Booch on his first carry of the night.
Yeah, I mean, football with a game of momentum and things like that. Pierre comes out, gets a fast strike. You know, Yankton gets a play, stop him on a 4th down, get the ball back, and what looked to be a punting situation is now mounted into quite the drive and really taking kind of the air out of Yankton's sails.
Back to 10th play of this drive that started after a touchback from an interception in the end zone from George Staley. Carter Merrill on first down. Tries across left guard, and from the 38, looks like he'll just get a yard to the 37. So Merrill, who ran roughshod over the Spearfish Spartans a week ago, only has 4 yards on 3 carries so far. This Yankton defensive line is going to be difficult to find some holes, as was the case on homecoming night.
Yeah, we talked pregame. I mean, Yankton probably does the same thing. What are we going to take away? Well, they thought maybe the run game has been the thing that's really gotten Pierre's motor going, so they're really selling out on taking that run game away. It's just a matter of time, though. These run lanes will open up here a little bit later once people get tired.
Take the pitch. Lounsbury rolls to his left. He tosses for Staley inside the 30, but as he is well covered, Staley had to leap. He can't haul it in. Matt Grotenhuis in on the coverage, and it'll be 3rd and 9 at the 37-yard line. You can hear the PA announcer. You can obviously hear him trying to get the fans fired up. There are a lot of Buck fans down in front of us. The Governor fans have filled the visiting grandstands across the way. Even some students who are dressed as green and red Santa Clauses. Well done, everybody. Well, it is after Halloween. It must be the holiday season. 3rd and 9 now, just inside the far hash mark. Caleb Lounsbury in the pistol. Carter Merrill behind him. Staley is left. It is Shufflebine to the right. Pass to Shufflebine is just a little too tall for Carter Shufflebine inside the 20-yard line. And this time the Governors will be faced with a 4th down situation. Cade Hazelhorst in on the coverage once again, and Shufflebine might have gotten the wind knocked out of him a little bit here as he fell down to his back. Coach, the last couple of throws, I think Caleb Lounsbury just a little too much, maybe a little too much adrenaline and a little too much zip on him. He's just a little bit high.
Yeah, you bring that throw down a little bit, you know, not make him have to leave his feet to go get to. And it's probably a better ball. It's more of a catch and run scenario as well. But, you know, when you're facing the defense you are, and he did have a step on his guy, it's just that timing, and they'll get that down as the game progresses.
Caleb Lounsbury is going to punt. The Governors will try to play field position, but Lounsbury bounds this one inside the 5-yard line. Line of scrimmage was the 37, so this isn't quite what the Govs were hoping for. It is a touchback into the end zone. A 12-play drive comes up empty as the Govs punt, and the Yankton Bucks will come back on offense from their own 20-yard line, trailing 7-0. 3:16 to go, quarter number 1.
Yeah, and with that drive, you think, you're like, okay, well, we punted, right? That's not exactly what we wanted. You didn't get any points, but you took it from basically the 15 all the way to the other side of the field, and now don't have to play with a short one. You get to play with a full 80 against your back. There's nothing else better than that as a defense to be able to have that room.
Yankton keeps it on the ground on the first play. Matthew Sheldon with his first carry. They'll pick up, looks like 3 up to the 23-yard line. Yankton coming back in our direction, left to right. Here comes Evan Sirk on the end around. The sweep as he's out across the 30-yard line. Run out of bounds there by Max Hunsley, just shy of the 35.
Yeah, really good back action that they had with one guy crossing the front, the other guy going to the backside and ultimately getting that pitch. You just, anytime you get a person to step down inside, you can get that one step, and Evan Sirk is a fast fella.
11 yards on that one. First down up to the 34-yard line. Sirk again coming up the near hash mark as he runs over Lincoln Schonard, but Shoney hangs on and brings him down for a 5-yard gain. That one to the 39. 5 carries already for Sirk.
Yep, Yankton's pace starting to quicken here. That line of scrimmage is what they're concentrating on, but ultimately it's still the quick passes out in the flats that they're going to.
Carson Ness with a quick hitter to the 45. He spins away from one Governor tackler. Sutton Sonnenschein comes up to bring him down at the 50, but this is a gain of 11 now. That was Nelson's first pass since he threw the interception to George Staley in the Governor red zone, or in the end zone on the previous possession. We've got pre-snap penalty here with 2:06 to go in the first quarter. And a false start, essentially snap infraction, they say, against the center. Second 5-yard penalty against the Bucks. It'll be 1st and 15 instead. Obviously, Yankton, even though they're down 7-0, very capable of picking up chunk yardage here. They'll stay on the ground with Cirque. He gets most of the 5-yard penalty yardage back. It looks like he'll get, well, only 3 up to the 48-yard line. E.J. Bucci in on the stop.
Yeah, you saw the Governor defense there completely switch over and go heavier on one side than the other. So there must be something about that formation that was seen in film that they had a tendency to go that left side.
Here it looks like they're showing a blitz, but the linebackers back off a little bit, and Easton Nelson has plenty of time, but he goes underneath to Cohen Zarbach near side. Zarbach turns it upfield on the side, inside the 45 to the 43. Modest gain of 7 here to the Pierce side of the field. And Yankton in a more negotiable situation. For some reason, I didn't even have Cohen Zarbach on my stat sheet. That was a big miss on my part. Yankton again, back to Zarbach, near side, first down pickup inside the 40 to the 36, where they run it out of bounds, back-to-back 7-yard hookups, and the Bucks are in business again.
And you're seeing the Govs drop back into a cover 4 look and just giving a little bit too much underneath. You'd like to see him slow that back pedal down and be able to create some pressure.
Cirque with some room to the far side. He'll turn the corner against Carson Stoser inside the 30 to the 25-yard line, and it is Evan Cirque. He's only 165 pounds, but he ran like 190, it looked like that time, as he'll get all the way to the 23, pick up 13 more, and here come the Bucks.
Yeah, we knew he was fast. Now he's got that low center of gravity, keeping his feet working, and you know, he's definitely running a lot heavier than his weight shows on the stat sheet.
Cirque again, a little hesitation in the backfield, but he'll turn it up the seam inside the 20 to the 19. 4 yards this time. Baxter Shrimp in on the stop from the nose tackle position. Here comes Bryce Krall back in off the sideline. That's how quickly these Bucks are in and substituting and ready to go again on 2nd and 6. Cirque is met by Patrick LaRock this time, but it's still a good gain inside the 20 all the way to the 15. They'll take 4 more, and it'll be 3rd down and 2.
Yeah, and you're seeing Yankton's offense start to settle in a little bit. They're getting a little more movement out of their offensive line. You're seeing their guards pull a little bit on those run plays, and I mean, they're just doing what they do. It's you got to kind of bend, don't break here, and you weather the storm, figure out where you can, hopefully get a turnover.
Governor's trying to get a stand up here. Matthew Sheldon running. He will not get the first down on a 3rd and 2 attempt. He gets halfway there. They'll give him the 14, and it'll be interesting to see what Yankton decides to do.
It's going to bring out 4th
and 1 from the 14. They'll get a little bit of time to think about it. We're at the end of the first quarter. The Governors score from long range on their second play from scrimmage, and we've got a 7-0 lead for the Pierre Governors on the Gales Gas Service scoreboard, sponsored by Gales Gas Service in Pierre. 4th and 1 for the Bucks when we come back in 60 seconds. It's semifinal night for the Govs. Your official voice of the Pierre Governors, River 92.7 and DRGnews.com.
When you're in the need for high-quality replacement auto parts, look no further than Zander Auto Parts and Machine Shop in Pierre. Zander's has been servicing the Pierre area for over 40 years. Their professional parts techs can get you the part you need and get you back on the road. Stop by Zander Auto Parts and Machine Shop at 500 West Sioux in Pierre or call 224-9221. Zander's, your source for domestic and foreign auto parts and accessories.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 57,000 participants here in South Dakota who take part in high school sports or activities.
At Ringneck Energy,
Back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union press box. Owyhee Federal Credit Union, where people are worth more than money.
In the first quarter, again, a 58-yard touchdown pass from Caleb Lounsbury to Carter Shufflebine. The Governors, in the first minute of the contest, had a 7-0 lead. They intercept a Yankton pass in the end zone. And stop a Yankton drive on their first offensive possession. The Governors then run 12 plays but had to punt from the Buck 37-yard line. And right now Yankton, as we go to the second quarter, is poised to run their 12th play of this ensuing drive, their second possession of the night. Brian Oakland play-by-play, Sean Lewis on commentary help. Caleb Brozick running camera for Live Ticket. Thanks for his efforts tonight. Also William Wilson and DRG Media Group, World Headquarters. Semifinal night, the winner onto the Dakota Dome. This is 4th and 1 for the Bucks as they try to go for it. The quarterback, Easton Nelson, just going to run behind the line that pushes the Governors by plenty inside the 15 down to about the 12, and that'll pick up 2. But it is a 2-yard pickup on 4th and 1, and that's a first down for the Bucks. And still room to work with inside the 5 as far as another would-be or could-be chain mover goes. Evan Sirk flanked to the left behind the quarterback Nelson. He'll take the handoff as he comes left side. He is hit from behind and dragged down, I believe, by Jacob Mikkinen, but still inside the 10 to the 8, and Sirk running well. This is his 10th carry of the night. And it'll be second down and 6.
And they've tried to really lean on that run game, especially when they've gotten into the end zone. Maybe a little gun shy from last time of throwing it when they get down here, but I do expect them to go back to the pass.
52 yards on those 10 carries. Fake handoff. Easton Nelson comes left side. Flag is down. Nelson is hit at about the 1-yard line, or is he even in the end zone? He is, but a flag is thrown at the 7-yard line.
Yeah, pretty big hold on the outside. As soon as the quarterback and the running back ran into each other, you saw Schoenhardt be able to keep outside contained, and then the guy goes around, hooks him, pulls his jersey, almost pulls him down, and that's an easy one for a ref to call on that side.
That's why I've got a defensive guy up here with me. He looks at other things other than the ball. That's what I'm looking at. Meanwhile, a 10-yard hindrance for the Bucks as they'll be moved back. Spot foul. We'll see exactly where they put it. It might be the 17 instead of the 18.
Yeah, there's a lot of good smoke and mirrors to watch in a football game. If you're just simply watching the ball, you're missing a lot of the reads and the keys that are going on that offensive line, and just simply some action and reaction by the defense and linebackers.
So it is back to the 18, second down and 16 coming up here. Still in the first minute of the second period. 7-0 Governors. Trying to hold the Bucks in the red zone for a second time here in the first half. Connor Slaba shifting on the right. Nelson looks that way, now cuts back to the left, open up in the middle of the field. He'll scramble ahead into the 15 to the 10-yard line. Governors finally bring him down there. There's Schoenhardt in on the stop. A nice little 8-yard pickup for Easton Nelson. This guy's quarterbacking for the first year as a varsity starter, but he's doing a heck of a job throughout the season.
Yeah, really good edge rush there by the Governors. Forced him to step up in the pocket, and then when he did force him up, there's a pretty big hole there.
3rd and 8, scramble to the left, unloading the ball to Bryce Krull. He'll make a move back into the middle of the field, inside the 5, down at about the 2. This is close to a Yankton first down, depending on the spot. Again, there is room to pick up a first down.
There is, and there's no worse viewpoint for us up here in the box than the corner of the field to which that they are currently in.
We're calling it a 7-yard gain. It's down to the 3-yard line. 4th and 1. Yankton trying to push it ahead, and the Governors are celebrating. Did they stop him on downs here?
Yeah, I definitely think they did. I mean, he may have been stood up right at the goal line, and they're marking it at the 1.
But the line to gain was the 2-yard line, so the Governors kept him out of the end zone. But again, there was room to pick up a first down.
Timeout for measurement.
And they will measure. I was going to say, Yankton's offense staying out there. So that's a 4th and 1 play and a measurement coming up. Well, I tell you what, if the Governors stop the Bucks again defensively inside the 5 or even in the end zone as it was the first time around, I mean, what are you thinking if you're the Bucks? Obviously, you're still fortunate that this game is still 7-0, but again, bend, don't break, Coach, is what we talk about with these Governors all season long.
Yeah, this would be quite something if Pierce stood him up in 4th down and created another turnover. I mean, big momentum shift if that was the case. Yankton's on schedule, marching down the field, just really on track to be able to, punch in a score and even this game up. But as of right now, it looks like they're short. That's a turnover.
And it's a Governor takeaway, not technically, but figuratively. They are short on the measurement, and Yankton will lose it on downs after running 16 plays It is still 7-0 Governors with 10:06 to go in the second quarter. Obviously, Pierre in the shadow of their own goal post, and with all of those Yankton whiteout student bodies behind them, trying to cheer them and disrupt them. Cheer and jeer, we should say. Pierre will have it first down at their own 2-yard line.
Yeah, just something here to be able to get the ball out of this side of the field. As we talked pregame about how this would probably be, if there was an overtime, this is the side that Yankton's going to choose to be on in front of that student section because it is loud and rowdy on that side.
Lounsbury takes the snap. He'll pitch in the end zone. Merrill's got to get out of there. He does. He may just get back to the 1-yard line. Good pursuit by Edley Amaro. And see where they put the down marker, and it is still at the line of scrimmage, so nothing here.
2nd and 10, Governors.
Here in Yankton, folks might have reminiscences of a 99-yard touchdown pass less than a year ago. I don't know if we're going to see one of those, but Lounsbury wants to throw. He's looking over the middle. Scheffelbein has it. It's caught at the 25-yard line. And Hasselhorst in on the stop, but Scheffelbein is hit in stride. Beautiful delivery by Caleb Lounsbury. Pickup of 23.
That's what you do when you play a team the second time. I mean, you identify a weakness, and you continue to go after that weakness. And so Steve Steele had to have seen on film that, hey, this is a matchup that I want and I want to create. And you've seen him create that matchup over and over and over so far. Yes, we've had a completion, but it wasn't because it wasn't there.
It is a 24-yard pickup. The Govs have it now at their 26-yard line, moving left to right, east to west. 9 minutes to go in the second quarter, leading 7-0. Govs in white. They'll go to Merrill. Well, he's got a head of steam right as he hits the line of scrimmage, but he runs right into a Yankton defender trying to muscle his way forward. He'll reach the 30, and looked like he was hit at the point right at the line of scrimmage, but he still gets 4 yards out of that one.
Yeah, he was. None of these yards so far are easy for Carter Merrill, but he's going to be doing some of the dirty work, just like the linemen, to be able to create those other opportunities.
2nd down and 6 for the Governors. Once again, after 2 stops of the Yankton offense inside the 5 and in the end zone. Here still preserving a 7-0 lead. 2nd and 6. Here comes Merrill, his biggest gain. He slips out of a tackle at the 35, and he gets up ahead to the 40-yard line, and the Governor tailback will be good for 10 this time.
And you just keep swinging on those. You know, we've talked about he's been met at the line a few times. Eventually, there's going to be that one crease, and he just keeps hitting the hole as hard as he does. Those are going to start to pop off. 1 or 2 becomes 3 or 4. 3 or 4 all of a sudden becomes huge gains as this game goes on.
And Merrill will find his way through the defense. I think he'll get a feel for where these guys are coming at him from as well. He's got it again. First down. He comes across the right guard, and another decent gain, a good gain on first down will get him most of 5 to the 45.
Yeah, one of the fun things to watch about Carter Merrill is his lateral agility. He can be going straight forward, pretty much put his foot in the dirt and just get even a half a yard lateral, and that's where it opens up. And that's kind of patience that you've started to see him develop, not just the I can hit the hole as hard as I can.
2nd down and a long 5 or maybe 6 here, as the Governors, who started this drive after turning the Bucks over on down at their own 2-yard line, are out near midfield now. It is Merrill again. And nowhere to go this time, but he's still trying to back his way up against Groton Heiss, and he gets to the 49, a gain of 4 more.
Yeah, so again, 4 more hard yards, just simply getting where he can, keeping his feet, and then he kind of turned that tackle to where the defender actually gave him probably another 2 yards.
Now 3rd and 2. Big play here coming for the Governors. E.J. Bucci coming in to take the snap. Yankton will try to load up with the big guys on their defensive line. They've got 4 of them that will put a hand down on the turf.
Yeah, 4 along with Edley. That is definitely a big front.
Ooh, fumbled snap. Bucci picks it up, and as Amaro hits him, Amaro loses his helmet. And boy, Edley Amaro took a big hit on this one, but he is able to get Bucci to the turf. In fact, for a loss of 3, back to the 46-yard line. Amaro stunned at first, but he comes back up. I'll tell you what, Coach, you lose your hat on a big hit like that. You know that it's, well, first things first, you're thinking major concern, but
yeah, he did get up, but there's going to be some evaluation on the sideline because when that helmet, he got hit as hard as he did, and then he immediately went down to the turf and grabbed his head. You know, Yankton does have a Pierre native trainer, so I'm pretty sure that he's going to go ahead and take care of him and do the right thing. But, yeah, that all started with a bobbled snap, just kind of took that play out from the get-go.
So Amaro in good hands, but Carter Templeton, or rather Lounsbury, who does the punting, he's got a good one here. It bounces at the 26 of the Yankton Bucks. Carson Ness will let it go, and it'll trickle all the way inside the 15-yard line. And Lounsbury, who couldn't keep one out of the end zone last time, gets a nice one here, and Yankton will have it 1st and 10 at their own 15-yard line, about 39 yards on the punt this time from Caleb Lounsbury.
Yeah, another good job. You know, the ball's at the 1 or the 2 or wherever it was at, and you got to flip the field, you get them back down, make them start on their own 15. You know, it's a long ways to march, so you take that as a Governor win, but ultimately you'd like to start seeing another nail in that coffin with a score.
But I'll tell you what, from your own 2-yard line, now you control the field position if you're the Governors, and that is a good enough turnaround for now. They start with Evan Sirk, who comes across the 15, right up the middle of the field, taken down at the 17, and Bucci comes in and makes amends, at least for now, after bobbling that snap on 3rd and 2 on the previous possession. Here's a quick pitch out to Sirk, left side. He bounces out to the numbers, and it's LaRock who comes from behind and takes him down up to the 23-yard line.
Fantastic pursuit by a big guy from behind. Hey, I got hooked a little bit, but I'm going to get off that block. You don't expect a guy who's 240 pounds to track you down from the rear side.
Patrick LaRock, who is a backup player, kind of an unsung member of this defense, but he's had a good season. It's 3rd and 1. They've got it right at the 24. This is the big guy, Sheldon. He'll sneak through and barrel his way for about 5, maybe 6 to the 30. As Matt Sheldon has the Bucks in movement once again. 1st and 10 at the 30.
And Sheldon, not normally a position you see him in the backfield. He's normally their middle linebacker, delivering some hits there. But, you know, you think you got a big guy who needs a couple yards, you're to pull out all the stops.
That was the Thunder. Now the Lightning back with Evan Sirk as he starts left, counters back to the right across the 33-yard line. Pick up a 3. Schremp in on the stop. Baxter's getting his name called quite a bit. Let's give him 4. They're at the 34-yard line. Right to left for the Bucks, in red on their home field. Here comes Max Hunsley. He meets up with Sirk at the 33, sends him backward. Hunsley also playing good defense so far. No gain this time for Evan Sirk. In fact, back to the 33, that's a loss of a yard.
Yeah, you've seen a lot of guys really step up this year, but I think probably none more important than Max Hunsley being able to solidify that middle linebacker spot with the departure of basically the entire linebacking core from last year.
Nelson wants to throw. Now he tucks and he runs up to the 40-yard line. He is hit, and Easton Nelson, the quarterback, is challenging 2 Governors and leaning his way just across the 40, which looks like a Yankton Buck. 1st down. Boy, Easton Nelson, quite an effort there. I'm not so sure he didn't lose his mouthpiece or something. That's a gain of 7.
There was a lot of punching and ripping at the ball there as, you know, he's kind of being held up and moving. And, I mean, you're seeing some wristband changes. I'm not exactly sure what's going on the Yankton sideline, but getting a new wristband for their quarterback.
Well, I think that is what he lost. He just had to get retooled. Fix the wardrobe malfunction. Rollout on 1st down. Nelson comes back to the left side. He changes direction, has the 50. Into Governor territory, 40 to the 30. Near side, they'll run him out of bounds. Down around the 20-yard line. Easton Nelson with the scramble, or was it, Coach? That almost looked like a design run for a pretty good fleet-footed quarterback.
Nope, that was just simply a quarterback that had the know-it-all to be able to pull that thing down. That play was stopped on the sweep or the rollout right. And he just saw that everybody had sucked down and bought on the exact play that was going on, and he just pulled it, tucked it, and went that way. One guy sucked, and there's your contain.
39 yards for Nelson. Here's Krull out to the 20-yard line, far side. A little quick, short hookup. And as Krull spins, he's taken down by Sutton Sonnenschein down to the 14-yard line. That's 7 more through the air, and here come the Bucks again. into the red zone for the third time. They're trying to punch one in for the first time. However, we've got a pre-snap penalty. Apparently, I don't see a flag just yet, but as Nelson clapped his hands for the snap, and one of the Yankton receivers, Kroll, has to come off the field. And maybe he had an equipment issue that needs some attention. Mouthpiece is what the officials are talking about. Second quarter, still 7-0. Kind of a fast-moving game. 2:44 left. Governors scored on the second play of the game on a 58-yard touchdown pass from Caleb Lounsbury to Carter Shufflebine. Yankton's been stopped inside their own 5-yard line once, and in the end zone on an interception once. Here's Nelson looking to throw, 2nd and 3. He tucks and tries to go right side. Bucci will get to him, and then Bucci throws him down. The Yankton fans don't like that so far. No flag. Sometimes you just have to do what you have to do to get a guy to the turf, and that's kind of what Bucci did here. This is a 16-yard line, actually a 2-yard loss. We'll call that a quarterback sack, the second of the night for Bucci.
And we're able to hear the whistles up here pretty well. So there was definitely no whistle. So what do you do when a guy's up? The ball's still alive. You keep running your feet and you take him down. You stop only once that whistle has been blown.
2-point takedown for Bucci.
That's
3rd and 5. Far hash mark. Here's Nelson again, rolling left. Most of his receivers that way. He has Kroll at the 15, turning up to the 10. Right up the numbers, and Bucci giving chase again.
Down by number 4, George Stolley.
Looking at the number here, trying to make sure that's number 8. It is a Buck first down.
First down.
To the 10-yard line. The down marker is down. It's 1st and goal. Here comes Sirk going left, back to the right, to the 5-yard line in the alley. And the Govs will knock him down there, but this is a gain of 5 more.
Brought down by number 54, Jamison.
And you've seen the bend don't break. Obviously, we probably don't want to be playing football at this end, but let's see if the Governors can tough it up and just keep them out of the end zone, because not only is Yankton battling the fact that they've not punched it in twice with being in here, they've also got a clock to deal with.
Yep, 1:10 to go, and the Govs are going to try to preserve some time. They take their first timeout here as the Bucks are knocking on the door. Once again, I believe they've got it at the 4-yard line. Let's pause for 30 seconds. Timeouts in our broadcast are brought to you by Coca-Cola Bottling in Pierre. We're back after a 30-second Coke break. Govs lead 7-0 on River 92.7.
Is to produce renewable energy that adds value to grain and livestock production, enhances the income of their investor partners, and provide a safe, rewarding work environment. Located at 901 Redwood Avenue in Oneida, South Dakota. Call 605-945-6900 or check ringneckenergy.com. A proud supporter of local schools and wishes all students the best of luck in all their activities during the school year, creating economic opportunities in our community.
Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box. Owyhee Federal Credit Union, where people are worth more than money.
For the Yankton Bucks, welcome back. They've got it 2nd down and goal. First charge timeout for the Governors. Easton Sirk out of the pistol with a pitch back. Sirk has some blockers to follow. He will split them both, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Yankton Bucks. A 5-yard scamper for Evan Sirk, and on the 3rd try for the Bucks, they finally will get one into the end zone for 6. Evan Sirk on his 17th carry of the game and on the 12th play of the drive as Yankton goes 85 yards. The kicker for the Bucks is Kevin Ortiz, and his kick knocks off the right upright. The left-handed kicker, he hooked it a bit, and Yankton will have to settle for 6. The kick is no good. It came right back after hitting that right upright. So Pierce 7, Yankton 6. They kick when we come back in 30 seconds with more Governor postseason football.
Titan Machinery is actively hiring service technicians to our Case IH team in Highmore, Miller, and Pierre. Whether you are an experienced technician or looking to start your career, Titan has a spot for you. Earn a competitive pay with the potential to make upwards of 6 figures. Titan Machinery offers company HSA and 401k contributions, free single health care, and a generous tool allowance. For more information, log into titanmachinery.com/careers or contact Titan Machinery, your Case IH dealer, at 701-356-0130.
The best Western welcome back to the Oahe Federal Credit Union Press Box. Oahe Federal Credit Union, where people are worth more than money.
Off the upright, fails, and the Governors preserve a 7-6 lead, and we'll see what the Bucks do here as Liam Villanueva is the kickoff specialist for Yankton. Kicking from right to left. And Villanueva puts a big boot into it. It's taken by George Staley at the 10-yard line. He'll go up to the left side. Outside, has the 20 to the 30 and can't get away from a shirt sleeve tackle. But another good return as Staley's looking good running the football. Pierre will have, about as good a field position as you can hope for without really breaking a big one here. And still about a minute to go. 59 seconds, the 2-minute drill for the Governors coming up. We'll call it the 33 as the start of this fourth possession of the night for Pierre, who leads 7-6.
Yeah, I think you're going to see Steve Steele come out here and pretty much, like you said, run that 2-minute drill, attack, even though you still got the lead. If you could put anything more on the board here before half, it's a definite dagger in the game plan of the Yankton Bucks.
We'll expect some passing offense. Empty backfield here. Caleb Lounsbury 4 for 9 so far, but he's going to keep it on the ground here, and he runs right into Edley Amaro, who is shaking off the cobwebs, and he is back on the field. He will get a couple of yards. The Govs have 2 timeouts to play with. Second down and 8.
Yeah, and you're probably checking to see if they have a quarterback spy right there. A lot of the times when you get into more of a prevent defense, they don't necessarily have anybody accounting for the quarterback.
Ball's on the field here as Lounsbury is hit in the backfield, and Yankton has recovered it at the 32-yard line. Lounsbury got flushed out of the pocket, but he gets hit from behind, and it's number 73, Riker Frang, falling on the loose ball. The Governors have their first turnover of the night, and this one puts Yankton in great position to maybe try to get something before halftime themselves. They'll have it at the Governor 32-yard line.
Yeah, I would expect Brady Muth to do the same. I mean, there's really no concessions here just to say, hey, we'll take this into the half. They're down. They're going to try and even this or go up here before half.
Nelson over the middle, firing on first down, has his man. Good pursuit. Sutton Sonnenschein will bring the receiver, Connor Slaba, down at the 21-yard line. That'll pick up 11, and Yankton, who gets a clock stoppage with the first down pickup, will keep it going. 18 seconds left. They've still got all their timeouts. Nelson's looking to throw. He's backpedaling a long way. Ball is loose. Oh, my goodness. The whistle blows.
I think they ruled it a shovel pass rather than just simply flipping the ball.
But that is a lateral. Yep. That was a backward pass, and an incomplete pass is what's called here. I thought Evan Sirk was clearly 2 yards behind the quarterback, Easton Nelson, who had backpedaled about 15 yards here. And look at Steve Steele. Is he coming out trying to say, hey, man,
I think he's definitely arguing the point that you just said. That was really a lateral pass, not necessarily a shovel forward, as they were hip to hip for the most part. So hip to hip, side to side, that's lateral.
Oh, it looked like he was at least a yard, maybe 2 behind him, but the Governors will have to deal with a tough break. 11 seconds. Yankton takes a timeout here. Or do the Governors. It doesn't really matter. It will be second down and 10. Coca-Cola timeout. We'll just keep it here. 7-6. Governors have the lead. Coach, just make you think of about 3 or 4 years ago when we were here on semifinal night. It was a tight one that the Govs won 21-12.
Yeah, one I definitely remember really well. You know, I even look down there and I see 14 on the field, and I still just think, hey, that's McGuire Rasky just absolutely putting it out there. But no, it's not. It's Porter Hunsley, and he's making a name for himself wearing that exact same number.
All right, so second down and 10. Yankton still with the football here at the Governor 21-yard line. They took it away after a fumble takeaway. Governor's first turnover now. Second down play. Nelson backpedaling again. And he throws Is this ball caught? No, at the 10-yard line, Slaba diving. Mikkonen gets into the backfield, and as he tried to, he fell down and then tried to get up, and then he gets pushed in the back, but a rollout and an incomplete pass. The Governors will get the clock stoppage here with 5 seconds left, and Yankton will have one more opportunity. They may be swapping personnel, and they're going to bring in Villanueva for an attempt at what would be, see, spotted at the 27. We'll call it a 30. Let's make it a 38-yard field goal attempt. But the Governors will take a timeout first, apparently.
At least make him think about it. You got one, you might as well use it.
Sure, can't take him with you into the halftime break. Let's pause for 30 seconds. We'll see what happens. The Govs lead for now, 7-6. Back in 30. This is a Coke break. Governor football on River 92.7.
Rapid City supports all South Dakota student athletes and their families. They are conveniently located off Interstate 90, close to downtown and minutes from the beautiful Black Hills. The Ramkota offers sports and family-friendly rates. Guests can relax for free in the indoor water park. They have 36,000 square feet of banquet and meeting space, and the award-winning Minerva's Restaurant and Bar is located on site. Best Western Ramkota welcomes everyone to beautiful Rapid City, South Dakota.
Do you have a pest problem?
Back to the Oahe Federal Credit Union press box. Oahe Federal Credit Union, where people are worth more than money.
Bucks have played here forever and ever. Mount Marty Lancers play here too, but this is the Bucks home field, and they're trying to take a halftime lead here. A 38-yard field goal. Liam Villanueva. It is up, and it is straight, and it is good. Well done, Liam Villanueva. And on the Gales Gas Service scoreboard as the first half comes to an end, the Yankton Bucks scored 9 unanswered, and they lead the Pierre Governors by the score of 9-7. Scoreboard brought to you by Gales Gas Service in Pierre. Use their budget plan and keep full service to stay warm all season long with Gales Gas Service in Pierre. It's a good one, but why wouldn't it be? It's semifinal night, Pierre Governor football, and your official voice of the Govs, River 92.7 and DRGnews.com. We're back in 3 minutes, Pierre Governor football.
Bats, ants, termites? Family owned and operated, Olson's Pest Technicians have had over 50 years experience taking care of pest problems in places across South Dakota, Nebraska, and Iowa. Utilizing brilliant methods such as Centricon bait stations for termites and Vicane treatment for bed bugs, there's no pest too tough for Olson's Pest Technicians. If you have pest problems, call 800-KILL-BUGS.
Dano's Marine in Fort Pierre is your one-stop shop for all things boats and watercraft. They are your local Vexus and Alumacraft boat dealer, some of the best boats on the water. Dano's also offers a full line of services to maintain your boat out of the water so you can enjoy more time on the water. Their certified technicians proudly service Yamaha, Mercury, and Everroot motors. Stop in today to visit about your next watercraft. Dano's Marine, proud sponsor of Pierre and Fort Pierre athletics and events.
When life gets hard and our thoughts get too much to bear, finding the resiliency within us can help us find healing. The 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline provides 24/7 free support for anyone in suicidal distress or emotional crisis. All texts and calls are anonymous and connect you to local resources that uphold cultural values and pave the way to healing. Find the strength within you. Find the strength within our culture. Reach out if you need help today.
Wow, Bill, you're walking so much better. What did you do?
Well, I got so tired of the pain and nearly fell. And one of my friends recommended physical therapy at Winter Physical Therapy. And you know what? My back also stopped hurting.
Huh. So how did you get started?
My doctor wrote me a referral, but that's not always needed. Turns out you always have a choice where you want to go.
So why did you choose Winter Physical Therapy?
I love to support our locally owned small businesses. And quite frankly, they give great personalized care.
Winter Physical Therapy. Exceptional care.
That moment when you realize your furnace is stone cold busted. We're talking a real put on every sweater you own, I can't feel my feet, penguin predicament. But fear not, there's an expert for that.
Let your local heating experts at Pites Service Experts keep you warm with $50 off any furnace repair.
Like it toasty? There's an expert for that.
Call Pites Service Experts at 866-EXPERTS. See website for license details.
For over 70 years, Pitt's Design Build has earned our reputation locally for serving communities across South Dakota. We provide design and building services for schools, hospitals, churches, commercial offices, multifamily housing, and so much more. Pitt's Design Build is conveniently located in Pierre, Mitchell, and Sioux Falls to serve you and your organization. We bring value to our clients by facilitating the design and/or construction process. Give us a call today and check us out at pittsdesignbuild.com for a free building consultation.
The Corner Station Convenience Store and the Crossing Pub are both conveniently located on Pleasant Drive in Pierre, South Dakota. At the Corner Station, grab your favorite hot and cold beverages and back to the Oahe Federal Credit Union press box. Oahe Federal Credit Union, where people are worth more than money.
A long-time football rivalry. A lot of years it was dominated by Yankton. Of course, lately it has been dominated by the Pierre Governors. Of course, 7 straight state championships in this 11 AA classification for Pierre. But Yankton, the number 1 seed, and they lead 9-7. Welcome back. This is our Wealth Partners Ameriprise Financial halftime break. Wealth Partners is in the Capitol Creek Center Plaza on East Sioux Avenue in Pierre. Brian Oakland along with Sean Lewis in the broadcast here. Let's give you the recap. And the Governors, by the way, let's give you the recap starting on play number 2. The Governors, after a good George Staley return, will get to the 41-yard line, a 1-yard gain for Carter Merrill, and then over the top, Caleb Lounsbury going for the downs right off the bat, and he hooks up in stride with Carter Shufflebine, who caught it at the Yankton 30-yard line. Nothing but daylight after that. That was a 58-yard touchdown pass from Lounsbury to Shufflebine, and Carter Templeton's PAT made it 7-0. That was only 49 seconds into the game. Yankton comes back, starts at their own 44-yard line. They go all the way to the 14, into the red zone, but Easton Nelson rolled out, and he was looking into the end zone for Bryce Krall, and George Staley instead had other ideas. He cut in front of the pass in the end zone for an interception to turn away the Bucks, and the Governors had it 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They run 12 plays. They get all the way to the Yankton 37-yard line, but the Governors elect to play the field position game, and they punted, although Lounsbury punted it into the end zone, only to see Yankton come back at their own 20-yard line, and they run 16 plays. They got all the way down to the 2-yard line. They picked up 1 4th down conversion along the way, but they couldn't get the second as they were stopped inches short at the 2, and the Governors turned them away again. Pierce starts their 3rd possession with 10:06 to go in the second quarter. They run 7 plays. They get out toward midfield. They changed the field position of the game, but they still had to punt, and Yankton takes over at their own 15-yard line. 3rd time was the charm. On their 3rd possession, they get a 12-play, 85-yard drive in 4 minutes and 47 seconds. Evan Sirk on a 5-yard run puts the Bucks on the board, trailing 7-6, but a Kevin Ortiz PAT attempt bangs off the right upright, and it came straight back. No good, but it was 7-6 with 1:06 to play in the second quarter. The Governors had an opportunity to get in the 2-minute drill, starting at their own 34-yard line, but as Caleb Lounsbury was scrambling out to his left, somebody got him from behind, and he fumbled the football. The Bucks fall on it at the Pier 32. They get a 1st down pickup to the 21-yard line, and then a key play after an incomplete pass, but a key play in that first half where Evan Sirk was bottled up by the Governors. He tried to pitch it apparently back to Evan Sirk, but what we thought was a couple of yards backward lateral was ruled an incomplete forward pass, and Yankton had 5 seconds left to do something with it. And what they did with it, their second opportunity, was to kick a 38-yard field goal. Liam Villanueva planted it through, and a good kick there. And Yankton takes the halftime lead 9-7, and they get the football to start the second half. Unofficially in the first half, Yankton with those 3 long drives is outgaining Pierre 229-152. Yankton on the ground has 158 total yards, and Evan Sirk unofficially 17 carries for 82 yards, including the 5-yard touchdown to get Yankton on the board. Easton Nelson, the quarterback, boosted by a big 39-yard run in that second quarter that did spur the touchdown drive, and Nelson has 5 carries for 65 yards. Matthew Sheldon, a fullback, has 3 totes for 11 yards, 158 total on the ground for the Bucks. Nelson through the air has completed let's make it, 9 out of, I take that back, 9 out of 11 passes. And, 9 out of 12, we'll call it, for 80 yards. He did throw the interception. He has been sacked twice for losses of 9 yards, so I've got 71 net yards through the air for Yankton. At a 158 on the ground, 229 total. Connor Slava has 2 catches for 19 yards. Carson Ness has 2 catches for 34 yards. Cohen Zarbach, a couple of 7-yard catches. And Bryce Kral, a 7, and a 6 for a total of 20 yards through the air. Bucks have picked up 12 first downs in this first half. The Governors did pick him off, and the only takeaway for the Governors was to end that first attempt on the drive by the Bucks in the end zone. Meanwhile, for Pierre, just 31 yards of offense on the ground. Carter Merrill has 27 yards on 8 carries. Caleb Lounsbury, 3 carries for 3 yards. E.J. Bucci has carried just twice. Did have a fumbled snap that contributed to a loss of 3. Bucci has 2 carries for 1 total yard. Lounsbury threw the air 4 out of 9 for 121 yards. He had the 58-yard touchdown to Carter Shufflebein. Shuff has caught 3 passes for 91 yards overall. George Staley has a 30-yard diving grab as well. And that's what the Govs have through the air. They have 1 penalty for a 10-yard mark-off. Yankton had 3 penalties for 20 yards against them. Govs with just 5 first downs in that first half and the 1 lost fumble, the only turnover in the game. So we've got a 1-1 turnover battle, but we've got a 9-7 Yankton lead here at the half. Let's take another 3-minute break, and Wealth Partners Ameriprise Financial's halftime continues here, semifinal night. This is Pierre Governor postseason football, your official home of the Govs, River 92.7 and DRGnews.com.
Filling your vehicle up with Cenex brand gasoline. The corner station also features a super tunnel car wash to keep your vehicle sparkling clean. At the crossing, grab a cold beverage and check out their selection of appetizers while watching the Stanley County Buffaloes and Pierre Governors live on their big screen televisions. Best of luck to all area students from the corner station and the crossing.
DRG Media Group Sports is the official voice of the Pierre Governors.
Kenols wants to run again, and he's got room. 40, 30, foot race to the 10, 5, and a touchdown. Pierre will come back and set up Avery Kaiser on the outside left through the block, and that's down.
The official voice of the Pierre Governors, River 92.7, and also at the River 92.7 page of the DRG News app, brought to you by Golden Buffalo and DRGnews.com.
Briggs Trucking and Construction in Fort Pierre provides quality freight transportation services, cargo hauling, excavation, and demolition services. They also specialize in dirt and gravel work for everything from commercial work to new construction. Briggs Trucking and Construction will haul everything from light poles to farm and agricultural supplies. The bigger the job or the bigger the load, the better, as that is where their expertise really shines. Contact Briggs Trucking and Construction at 605-280-2848 or email them at cbriggs25@pi.midco.net to visit about your
large farm equipment and everything in between. At your tire store next door, you can find a plethora of brand name tires that range from 4 to 10 ply and much more. Our highly skilled technicians can handle brakes, heating, and air conditioning. Call us today at 224-8643 or visit us at GrahamTire.com. Graham Tire is a proud sponsor of Pierre and surrounding communities' local activities.
Scott Darnell with Lee Real Estate in Pierre is ready to help you find your dream home. There are 10 things you need to do. On a bike, he will make buying or selling your home feel like a walk in the park. Sponsors of Central South Dakota.
Big and small. Your next big adventure or start a new business. Farmers Union Insurance has the variety of coverage options to protect each perfect moment. Farmers Union Insurance. Contact your local farmers
aerial needs since 2020. With locations in Letcher and Miller, Dakota Pro Air is able to provide service to a large area. Ground conditions too wet or just don't want those sprayer tracks in your field? Give Dakota Pro Air a call for all your chemical and fertilizer application needs at 605-248-2314.
Olson Plumbing in Pierre provides complete plumbing and drain cleaning services to commercial and residential customers. Olson Plumbing understands how the simple things in life are often the things we can't live without, and running water is the top of the list. Olson Plumbing offers 24/7 emergency services, and they can be at your location in under an hour in most cases. If you need help with your plumbing system, call Olson Plumbing 605-224-6436.
You asked for it. Nonstop flights between Pierre and Minneapolis. Now you can book nonstop flights from Pierre to Minneapolis and Denver on Denver Air Connection. 1-hour flights on 50-passenger jets with fares starting at just $119 one way. Seats are limited and restrictions apply. Business, pleasure, a game, a winter getaway. It's easy when you fly from Pierre. Visit DenverAirConnection.com/Expedia to book your trip today. Skip the drive. Fly from Pierre Regional Airport. Minneapolis flights begin November 30th.
At Jan Bussey Ford & Highmore, they've been building partnerships for life by treating customers right, offering a low-pressure sales process, no haggling over price, passing low overhead savings on, and providing a Ford-certified service department fixing it right the very first time. If you're looking for a new Ford, a quality pre-owned vehicle, a new or used ATV, or a trailer, stop by Jan Bussey Ford & Highmore and experience the difference.
Jan Bussey Ford, building partnerships for life.
When the world feels big, a small note can mean everything. Find mental health support at sdbehavioralhealth.gov.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in South Dakota. This is sportsmanship. School sports. It's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Our color guy.
Being local means more than being just another small-town business. It means showing up for our member owners when they need us, supporting the organizations that empower the next generation of community leaders and agriculturalists, and providing resources to help ensure the communities we live in are here for generations to come. At AgTegra Cooperative, local isn't just about where our locations are. It's about serving our farmers, our employees, and our communities in ways that nobody else will.
Hey Josie, why so glum, chum? I can't find a way to get my whole group to one spot without taking all these cars. You haven't heard of Denwall Transportation? They have luxury seating buses with air conditioning, outlets to charge your phone, and other must-haves for traveling. Whoa, no way! Yeah, you should check them out. Where can I find them? You can follow them on Facebook or denwalltransportation.com, or hey, let's give them a call at 605-532-3836. Denwall Transportation, let us do the driving.
Explore the 2023 Lincoln Navigator at Capital City Ford in Lincoln. Every time you approach your Lincoln, you'll receive a re-carpet welcome. Twin turbocharged 3.5 V6 engine with auto start stop technology, you'll travel confidently with technology that meets all your needs. Now you can get the 2023 Navigator for 5.9% at 72 months. Stop in to see the full vehicle lineup at Capital City Ford in Lincoln. Capital City Ford in Pierce, South Dakota.
Now's your chance for a great deal on smoking fast fiber internet from Venture Communications. Upgrade to the speed you need, up to 1 gig. And with whole home Wi-Fi included as part of your service, experience no-lag gaming, your favorite music, web surfing, HD video streaming, and connect to the latest smart devices. If you're ready for an upgrade, call or visit Venture Communications online.
Allied Plumbing and Heating is your contact for business, farm, commercial, and residential plumbing needs located in Pierre. No job is too big or small for Allied. Put our over 50 years of experience to work for you. At Allied Plumbing and Heating, the only surprise we want for our customers is how fast they get the job done. That's why we offer free estimates on every single service, no hidden charges. Give them a call today at Allied Plumbing and Heating. Remember, you can rely on your allies.
John Hoffman Electric is your neighborhood electrical service contractor, and so much more. No job is too big.
Back to the Oahe Federal Credit Union Press Box. Oahe Federal Credit Union, where people are worth more than money.
The passes, the time of possession, everything else isn't going to mean anything without getting that dub. And so you're going to see the Govs here come out with something, and I would expect both teams really to start throwing the kitchen sink at each other here in the third quarter.
All right, props to the PA and the music selection from Lincoln Park to the mariachi band as we get set to go to the second half. It'll be Carter Templeton to kick off the Comtech opening kick of the quarter number 3. We're back at it, and it's a short kick taken up at the 20-yard line by Connor Slava. Comes left side, has the 30, but as he tries to cut out again, there's Lincoln Schoenhardt. No, that's Tyson Polston with a nice open field tackle. And the Bucks will start 1st and 10 after kicking a field goal to close out the third quarter. They get the ball to close out the first half, I should say. They get the ball to start the third quarter.
Yeah, I thought the exact same thing. I thought that was Lincoln Schoenhardt on a little swing single takedown, but Tyson Polston, he knows how to take a guy down as well.
He's been playing great on special teams this year. All right, Evan Sirk, first down run from the 29. He'll cross up into the middle of the field between the hash marks, across the 30 to about the 32. Bucks will start with a 3-yard gain. Fast-paced offense.
Back at the run.
Fast-paced offense once again. Easton Nelson wants to roll out, this time looking, and a pass is caught in traffic. Nice receive here by Bryce Krull, and the Governors had Trevor Rounds, I believe. Nope, it's Owen Eidsness who gets the catch. Porter Hunsley in on the stop. Let's call it to the 37-yard line, a pickup of 5. Now back to the ground. This is a Sirk again, and he's crossed the 40. This will be a first down pickup. And the offensive line pushing their guy, maybe some other peer guys, a little bit further to the 43, 6 yards, and a movement of the chains for Yankton.
Yeah, quite the pile there. The refs are letting this thing go, and being a little later on their whistle, they're letting them play and be a little physical. It's kind of fun to see. It's semifinal football game. Let these kids decide it.
Roll to the left, throw back to the right. This time pass is caught, but going nowhere is the receiver, Evan Sirk. They tried something out of the backfield, and now, Coach, you mentioned that we're going to start seeing some different looks and maybe some different disguise-type plays, and this one didn't work for the Bucks.
Yeah, you're going to start to see some action-reaction stuff, whereas, something they noticed at halftime, Governors have been bringing a lot of pressure, so all of a sudden you see a rollout right, and then they come back and see if they're going to over-pursue on the quarterback and just do a little throwback to the running back.
Second down play, 2nd and 13. A quick hitter out to Cohen Zarbach as they're trying to get about half of that back. And up across the 45, caught on the far sideline, a pickup of 8 here. Zarbach's third catch. Big play coming up, 3rd and 3 as the Bucks approach. 3rd and 5 rather, as the Bucks approach midfield. Slava out of the slot, in motion, right to left. They roll that way. Nelson tried to throw. He pump fakes, and then he just tucks and runs. Trevor Rounds runs him down. Patrick LaRock comes off of a block, and he will run him down, and the Governors get that 3 and out in this sequence that they needed. Yankton will bring in the punting unit.
Yeah, just you got to know thyself. I mean, when Yankton was rolling right with him, he was doing well. He rolled left, did a throwback, not a great pass. Now all of a sudden he's rolling left again and, really not able to set his feet and find anything. So if I'm the Governor defense, I'm going to go, hey, I'm going to make that kid roll left whether he wants to or not.
It's a line drive kick, and the Governors fortunately not in the way for Matthew Sheldon, his first punt of the night. But it goes up the middle of the field, and it'll roll and roll all the way to the Pier 15-yard line. First punt of the night gives the Govs the ball after a defensive stop. But they've got a long field to play with here on their first attempt of the second half. 9:33 to play. It's 9-7 Yankton.
And a good stop coming out of halftime where Yankton basically scores 9 unanswered in a very, very short amount of time to be able to come out. When Yankton gets the ball and get that stop, that immediate turnover on downs and put your offense in control is exactly what you need here to start this third quarter.
So Caleb Lounsbury on the pistol. Carter Merrill, single setback. You've got wideouts, both sides. Shuffle bind to the near side to the right. George Stalley back to the left. Now Lounsbury under center after surveying the defense. He wants to throw right side. There's Cooper Terwilliger for the first time. The ball just slipped right out of his hands. Yankton can't get to it. They bat it out of bounds, and a huge break for the Governors here. It looked like after the catch, Cooper Terwilliger, he was just tucking it, and the ball just slipped right out of his hands. What a break for the Govs.
Yeah, huge. Sometimes it's a little bit better to be lucky than good. A good pass, good catch, and the ball squirted out. So luckily enough, that thing went out of bounds, and Governors retained possession.
And it's a 6-yard gain. It'll be 2nd down and 4. Yankton had 2 guys coming after it, but they were so eager to get to it, and I think they knocked it away from each other. Now near side, on the ground, here's Merrill as he is hit going through the line of scrimmage by Edley Amaro. Bryce Trawl is there to help bring him down. Still a good surge, 2 yards this time to bring up a 3rd down and 2. Merrill with 27 yards on 8 carries in the first half. This is 3rd and 1 now. Down marker at the 24-yard line. Merrill again. He slips 1 tackle in the backfield, and he will cross the 25. They'll give him the, looks like the 27, pick up 3, and the Governors will move the chains on their first opportunity in the second half.
And probably with the naked eye, you're not noticing anything as you think you're watching a normal football game, but for Steve Steele to run a quarterback under center and run a balanced offensive line, this is definitely something new that he's throwing at Yankton, because they probably prepared all week for the unbalanced. They prepared all week for this pistol, and just this slight variation in timing is, you can definitely see we're trying some new stuff and just seeing how it fits and works.
Fresh set of downs, fake the pitch pass, which obviously I'm sure Yankton has seen on film, but you pitch it to Merrill instead, and Yankton stays home and does a nice job as Merrill will reach the 30, and this is still, a gain of, set the down marker. It'll be, let's call it a gain of 3 to the 30-yard line.
Yeah, and 3. We talked about. When we were in high school, you do the math. You got 4 downs. You can sit and pick up 3 at a clip, and you can control the clock and march the ball down the field. 3 is exactly the target every single time. 2nd
down and 7. You went to the same high school as John Calda. He says the same thing.
Fantastic place to play.
That's the mathematicians are everywhere. Former Cavaliers. Here comes Merrill on a redirect. He started left. He bounces back to the right. Near side across the 30 to the 35. And a good gain here for Carter. Still a couple yards shy of a first down. It'll be 3rd and 2.
And I don't know if that's a shot against us or maybe even a pot shot against yourself when both your color guys originate from the same town in South Dakota.
It's not wrong, No, my other color guy was, he graduated from the same school I did, so Trent Merkwon, yeah. We're just a year apart. He's as old as I am.
He wasn't bad at football, though, either.
He's a Hall of Famer. 7:10 to go, 3rd quarter, 9-7. This is football. What a terrible night for football, too. 54 at kickoff, calm winds. Come on. Under center. Here we go. Serious now. Carter Merrill with a head of steam. He needs a yard. I think he's got it. Across the 35 to the 36. No, he needs 2 yards to the 37, and the Governors are going to be faced with a decision here on 4th and 1.
Yeah, Yankton had linebackers up on the line. They ran a quick exchange with a nose crossing the linebacker's face and exchanging blocks, and it was just enough to kind of be able to sneak their guy in and stop that from springing into a big play.
So the Govs look like they're going to punt. E.J. Bucci is coming in, and I'm telling you what, Steve Steele usually says if you can't gain a yard, then you don't belong on the field. I really thought that they might go for this, and I'm not saying they won't still. We'll watch the snap. No, it is a back full snap. Lounsbury with a nice punt. Look at this spiral as this one bounds at the 18-yard line. Connor Slaba lets it go all the way to the 10-yard line. Caleb Lounsbury with a huge punt here.
Wow, nice spiral coming out of there. I didn't know I know he's been taking some punting duties because it's something you want with your quarterback to be able to have, just that extra wrinkle if he were to pull it down and throw it or pull it down and run it. But what a punt.
How about 54 yards?
I'll take that.
54-yard punt. 6:01 to go. Yankton's second offensive possession of the second half coming up from their own 10-yard line. They've got it there. They lead 9-7. Right away, Easton Nelson to the ground. Evan Sirk coming from behind, and it's a tackle for a loss for the Governors. Here's E.J. Bucci. He gets him down. LaRock is right there, too. Patrick LaRock playing an active game so far. Let's put him back to the 9 and a loss of 1.
Yeah, beautiful read by E.J. there. That set up back that was right in front of his face, goes flat down the line. He simply follows it, jumps on the back of the ball carrier, and backpack.
Sirk again slips a tackle at the line of scrimmage. Then he meets up with George Stalley. He'll get him pushed back a bit, still across the 15 to the 16-yard line. I'll tell you what, Sean Lewis, if the Governors came up with a big defensive stop to start this second half, if they get one here, I mean, that would be even bigger. Yeah, especially with the field position battle.
And you keep noticing the refs they're very late on this whistle. They're letting these kids play, and there might have been some movement on that line.
Nelson, nice fake here. He faked it to Slava on a jet sweep. Instead, he goes straight up the middle of the field, across the 20 to the 23. That's a pickup of 7. I thought the Governors were playing that one pretty well, but Nelson just found the space, and he moves the chains.
Yeah, again, a bunch of misdirection there out of Yankton's offensive line of pulling a bunch of guys to the right side and then him basically then take it up the gut. So just kind of a false read to see if they can create that seam, and they did.
4:45 to go, third quarter, still 9-7 Bucks. That was our halftime score. High snap. Here is Sirk. He gets through, and I tell you what, E.J. Bucci, he got first contact. It looked like he almost got that ball wrestled free, but Sirk hangs on, crosses the 25 to the 26. Pick up 4.
Second and 6 for your Bucks.
Second down and 6. Sirk just over 100 yards there on his 22nd carry. He'll get room to run outside, running him down on the far side. Sutton Sonnenschein, a fine open field tackle. Sirk ran a long way, and all he gained was nothing.
Yeah, beautiful.
In fact, he loses a yard back to the 26.
Beautiful read to be able to come downhill from your safety spot and get all the way down to that pitch out there. Nice job by Sonnenschein.
A lot of receivers to the right for Yankton. Nelson looking to throw on 3rd and 6. He will tuck and run to the far side, and good job by Max Hunsley to make sure he doesn't get a big hit for an unnecessary roughness. This is actually a quarterback sack. It's a loss of another yard, and Yankton will have to punt for the second time here in the second half.
Gosh, I was thinking the same thing, having flashbacks to a couple years ago when we were down here again in the same situation. I think we just decked the quarterback and got a 15-yard, and I was like, oh man, now we're pinned back on our heels. But Max is definitely a cerebral player. Good, hard-working, smart kid, so glad to see him pull up and force that sack.
4th and 8, punt situation. Sheldon straight up on this one instead of running into it on the right side. That one takes a pure bounce, and it'll be downed on a hop by Cale Gary, a backup senior tight end for the Bucks. So we've had 3 possessions overall, 3 punts, and the Governors will get the next crack at it from their own 45-yard line. They now control the field position here with a good spot to start in their second possession, still trailing 9-7.
And it's really fun to see kind of the different changes that both teams have made a little bit here at halftime, and it's resulted in punt, back and forth, which necessarily isn't a whole lot on the scoreboard, but it's definitely, punch, counter punch, and now let's see what else do we have in the bag.
The winner on to the Dakota Dome next Friday night. 7 o'clock kickoff. Here comes Lounsbury as he's looking for Stalley. Boy, a lot of hand fighting on this play. They'll let it go. And Stalley reaches at the 20-yard line, couldn't get to it. Sean Lewis, I'm hearing the Yankton fans a little bit restless. The Govs may have gotten away with a hold on the part of Edley Amaro as he was rushing. I think whoever was blocking on him might have had him by the jersey a little bit. Stalley hits the ground hard, and he is slow to get up. We've got an injury timeout on the field. This will give us an opportunity to step aside. Let's take a 30-second Coke break. Timeout's brought to you by Coca-Cola Bottling. 9-7, Yankton still leading, 3:33 to go in the third. You're listening to Pierre Governor postseason football.
For our team of professionals, we pride ourselves on keeping up with new technology, such as Aerial, an augmented reality visual tool used to customize and experience a finished space before breaking ground. So whether you're building new or renovating a home, farm, or commercial space, let John Hoffman Electric light the way. John Hoffman is a proud sponsor of all local activities. Broadcast on Live Ticket TV.
Protect what matters most with the Brittany Shufflebind.
Back to the Oahe Federal Credit Union press box. Oahe Federal Credit Union, where people are worth more than money.
They're treating it as a cramp, not 1 but 2. But the Governors, who need Stalley on the field for success, at least that's according to plan, will have to go without him. Lincoln Dilgis, the third wide receiver, is in. Carter Schuffelbein wide to the right. This is a 2nd down and 10. Caleb Lounsbury rolls to the right. He's looking back to the left. Wants to throw long. He'll throw into single coverage. And a good job here by Carson Ness to negate an opportunity for Carter Merrill. Lounsbury throwing long, and well, he'll overthrow it. Now back-to-back incompletions.
Yeah, definitely a play that the Pierre Governors are very familiar with trying to do in versus Yankton, which is to sneak that back out on a wheel route and just see if you can go.
That's what happened with Rasky, wasn't it, 4 years ago?
Did it a few with Trey Lewis as well and caught these guys on the same thing, but Carter Merrill just looking back a little bit too much, and basically you got to run and trust your quarterback that you can just burn that guy and him float it up over the top.
All right, 3rd and 10. Governors could really use a sustained drive here. Right near midfield, it's from the Yankton 45-yard line. Empty backfield. Lounsbury feels the rush. He'll tuck and run. Can't get away. He got away from the backfield rush, but at the line of scrimmage, he is hit by Riker Freng. Good job on the D-line as Lounsbury only gets through that and falls forward for a gain of 2. So the Governors, who, well, they thought it was a good time to try some different things, certainly don't disagree with that, but they couldn't complete the passes they were hoping to, and they will have to punt. Lounsbury back after a 54-yarder on his previous attempt. We're under 3 minutes to play. This one not quite as good, but it should take a good bounce, and Slava has to back off from it again. That's the effectiveness of a short punt and a low punt. You usually get a good roll out of it. Aiden Beam will track it inside the 15, and he'll down it at the 13. So still a 40-yard punt, even though this one wasn't near as pretty from Caleb Lounsbury. 2:38 to go, still 9-7. We've got a lot of football to go, but I think Coach Governor fans are still hoping that their Govs can get some, well, offensive playmaking done here in the second half, and that'll make them feel a little more comfortable.
Yeah, and hopefully we can get George Stalley back out there, as even though as dynamic as he is on offense, he's definitely helped this defense solidify a bunch of things in the secondary.
First down play is a fake of a handoff, and it was a design keeper for Easton Nelson, the quarterback. The Governors converge, and they get him down for a loss of a yard.
Yeah,
Yankton Sharon in on the stop, back to the 12.
Sticking to that run. Pierre's line still sticking to what they're doing. You're seeing some pull around here, and I think they're going to try and get Cirque a little bit more on the edge here as they continue to work.
Well, they tried to on a sweep, but the Governors close it off on the near side. Bucci made him change direction. There's Sharon running off the field. Trevor Rounds comes in for a stop, and let's call this one at the 16. That is still a gain of 4, but it'll be 3rd down and 7.
Yeah, a little bit of package switch here. The Governors take out an offensive or defensive lineman, put in another DB, and now you're seeing the effectiveness of maybe a covered sack.
Time to throw, and wide open in the middle of the field is the H-back, Bryce Kroll. Sutton Sonnenschein will get to him. The Governors were covering everybody deep, but just right over the middle of the field. Kroll all by himself, nobody within 5 or 6 yards. This is a gain up to the 35. That's a pickup of 19 yards, and a good job of patience there for the quarterback.
Yeah,
and the receiver.
Just way too long. But when you're only rushing 2 and you're dropping the rest of the guys, that's it's kind of the trade-off of what you're going to get.
Cirque up the middle this time, crosses the 35 to the 38-yard line, a pickup of 3, and a good job by the Govs to get to him. The Governors are really tackling well, and they are really attacking Evan Cirque when he has the football.
Yeah, you think at 5'6", he's pretty much squatting the load for the rest of this Yankton offense so far, and they just keep continuing to want to go to him and go to him and go to him. But they do also have 2 really good receivers that you don't want to forget about.
A scoreless third quarter so far. We've got final minute, 45 seconds to go. Quarter number 3. Owen Eidsness in as a third receiver. Trips now to the left as Eidsness goes in motion. Here's a hookup with Zarbach as, nope, it's Carson Ness across the 40, sliding out of bounds. And a good receive, but still short of a first down. Carson Stoser there in coverage. Nope, it is a first down pickup to the 45-yard line.
And again, that roll left is not necessarily their bread and butter of what they want, because that pass, not on the money, although the receiver still made a good dive and a catch on it.
Nelson does a good job throwing the football, and most of their passes are of the short variety anyway. But the Bucks are going to run out the clock at the third quarter here. And the halftime score still remains on the Gales Gas Service scoreboard. It is 9-7 Yankton. 12 minutes and a trip to the Dome on the line when we come back after this 60-second timeout. Scoreboard from Gales Gas Service in Pierre. This is Pierre Governor postseason football.
Family insurance. Our personalized insurance solutions ensure you're covered no matter what life throws your way. From home and auto to farm, commercial, and life, we tailor policies to fit your unique needs. With our dedicated team and exceptional service, you'll have peace of mind knowing you're in good hands. Contact the Brittany Scheffelbein Agency, LLC.
Best of luck in today's competition to the Pierre Governors from Black Sheep Agronomy, your local agronomy experts. Black Sheep Agronomy wants you to have a successful farm plan, and they're focused on products and practices that work in this region. As community members themselves, Tyler, Tice, and Austin support area students who work hard in their school and extracurricular activities. Good luck, Governors from Black Sheep Agronomy. Call 842-6104 for all your agronomy needs.
Stay in a beautiful Black Hills vacation home, the Summit on Dancing Sky near Leeds, South Dakota, in the popular Powder House Pass development. It's a modern rustic design with over 5,000 square feet, 6 bedrooms, and 5 baths for you to enjoy. You'll get gorgeous views of the Terry Peak Mountain Range. There's a community pool to enjoy, and you're close to all the attractions like Deadwood, Sturgis, Spearfish, and a whole lot more. The Summit on Dancing Sky. Visit them at DancingSky.com.
Welcome back to the Oahe Federal Credit Union Press Box. Oahe Federal Credit Union, where people are worth more than money.
Certainly not the 35-7 type game that we saw on homecoming night in Phil Troutner Stadium at Hollister Field. Actually, some of you saw it. I was flying over the North Atlantic at the time, but on my way to Italy. That was fun. In the meantime, I think I'd rather go to Vermilion next week. How about you guys?
I would choose the same thing. I know my wife was looking to book some tickets for next week, and I said, no, honey, you got to hold that horse. We may have a football game to be going to.
No country concerts. You got football to think about. 1st and 10. Here we go. 4th quarter. It's an inside handoff to Evan Sirk, but Jacob Mickinen grabs a hold and will not let go. 250 against 160. Old Mick wins the battle here, but it is a gain of 1 for Sirk. His 25th carry of the night.
Getting him healthy, playing both ways, and then also having some help on both those lines has definitely made a huge improvement in the last 4 games for the Governor defensive line.
Yankton moving left to right, far hash mark now. Interesting that they will not be traveling into the direction of where their student body is. That's how they usually like to finish football games. Tonight, wind is not a factor, so I think Steve Steele had a lot of planning in this regard. 2nd and 9. Big guy, Matthew Sheldon. Good run here as he will get up to the 50-yard line, cross into Pierre territory. He'll be spilled at the 48, and that's a gain of 6.
He's a big boy moving forward. Like I said, they don't use him in all their situations, but when they're needing something, not a guy that they're going to sit and hold and just play defense. They're going to pull him over on the offensive line and get on the offense and get as many playmakers as they can.
He goes 230, but in years past, in the last couple of years, they've used him as a fullback. He certainly has run the football a number of times over the last couple of years. But they use him when they need him, kind of like when the Governors have been running E.J. Bucci, which is, ironically, not something we've seen a whole heck of a lot tonight. 3rd and 3, big play coming. They'll stick with Sheldon. He bounces out, and he'll get the first down. He ran over a Pierre Governor, and that's George Stalley. We were talking about Mickinen winning a weight battle and a strength battle. This time it is Sheldon who beats George Stalley. And he's got 6 to the Pierre 42-yard line. Wonder if we're going to start seeing Sheldon a little bit more to try to wear down the Governor defense.
Well, he comes off here for a few, so I mean they gave him a couple, and now they're going to take him out, get him a little bit of breather, and maybe they'll put him right back in. But yeah, 230 toting the rock. That's a tough load to bring down. You got to chop that tree down as low as you can.
10 minutes to go in the 4th quarter here, 10:28 to be exact. Easton Nelson as the play stopped. The clock stopped with the play out of bounds. Sirk up the middle. No, sir. Johnny Sharon in on the stop, and Ty Michael is there too. And point of attack, the line of scrimmage. In fact, the Governors will push him back to the 43. Loss of a yard.
Yeah. I mean, even in the runs that Yankton's gotten so far with Sheldon, being able to hit the hole, a big load, I've been watching in the trenches, and I think definitely the Pierre Governor line is winning that battle right now. So it's just a matter of sticking with it and then getting a couple of them losses along the way, getting Yankton ultimately behind the sticks.
Yankton is really, they're playing a lot more patiently. Obviously, they want to run the clock with the lead in the fourth quarter. Snap on 2nd and 11. Here comes Sirk to the near side. He wants to stay in bounds. He cuts back against Porter Hunsley, who gets contact at the 43. Nice little lean ahead for 2 to the 41. And it'll be 3rd and long from there.
I thought we might see a yellow hanky out on the field with a little hold on the edge. But again, like they've done all night, I mean, these refs have stayed consistent and they've let them play. And, for the most part, we haven't seen a lot of laundry on the field. They've been a little late to the whistle, holding them flags, and just letting these guys decide it in the uniforms rather than themselves.
Haven't had any penalties called in the second half so far, 4 only in the first half. 3rd and 9, another big play coming up for the Pierre Governors. 4 in the defensive backfield, 2 linebackers, make it 3, 4 included as Nelson rolls out. He'll overthrow his intended receiver, far side of the field, looking for Slaba, out of bounds at the 23-yard line. That's incomplete, and Yankton on 4th and 9 will likely punt.
Yeah, punt teams coming out here, and things Yankton's had over the years, which is kind of crazy, is they've always had a good special teams, whether it's been a kicker who can hit a 50-plus or whether it's been a punter who can boot it or spot put it. They've always been really solid on their special teams play.
Their kickers the last few years, I think they've had the All-Staters for 3 years running, and by the name of Trevor Paulson, and then last year, Jose, I forget his name, I apologize.
Trujillo.
Let's move on. Trujillo, thank you, as a fair catch will be taken. And a good job of concentration here by George Stalley.
And when Matthew Sheldon is your punter, that's a guy you've definitely got to keep an extra person in the box in case 230 pulls it down and goes forward.
Absolutely. So a punt by the Bucks, and the Governors will have it in their own red zone at their 12-yard line. That's a punt of 29 yards. But certainly Yankton has the field position advantage now. And Pierre, well, they got plenty of time, but it is pretty much time to start making some plays on offense. They trail 9-7. With 8:43 to go. Here comes Lounsbury in the pistol. Merrill next to him, behind him actually. George Stalley is back on the field. Here's a quick hitter out to Carter Shufflebein. He'll get around Bodie Thurman. 20, 25. First down mover to the 27, out of bounds, and Shufflebein makes a nice play here.
Yeah, and one of the bread and butters early in the season were those quick hitters, those screen passes right away. And, I mean, you haven't necessarily seen the Governors attack it, but it's still in the playbook. And so when you see guys play a little bit off, give a 3 to 5 yard cushion, take advantage of it and let your athletes be athletes on the edge.
8:20 to go. That's a 15-yard pickup. 4th catch of the night for Carter Shufflebein. He had the big one of 58 yards on play number 2 of the night. Here's a double reverse as Stalley's got room. 30 to the 40, cuts back up the numbers on the far side across the 35, explodes to the 40, but then he stops all of a sudden as Yankton runs him down, but this will be another first down pickup. They'll mark him at the 39, a pickup of 12.
Yeah, good job to just catch Yankton over pursuing, trying to get real aggressive. And, ultimately, if you've got a bag of tricks and it's still full by the end of the night, you probably didn't pull out everything you needed to.
1st and 10 at the 39. That's one thing. Yankton has controlled the time of possession tonight. It just doesn't seem like the Governors have had enough time to run enough plays here. But they have it right now, and they're on the move. Back-to-back first downs. Here's Carter Merrill trying to make himself skinny across the 40 to the 44, where he'll be brought down in a pickup of 5.
Yeah, and you're not in panic mode yet by any means with 7 minutes left on the clock, but you do feel that sense of urgency when you haven't controlled the time of possession that, hey, we got to start making these possessions and come away with points irregardless of what else happens.
Coming down on the 7-minute mark of the 4th quarter. Empty backfield this time. 3rd receiver far side is Lincoln Dilgis. Cooper Terwilliger, haven't called his name enough tonight. He has 1 catch tonight. He's a tight end on the left side, 2 tight set, as this will be a quarterback keeper. Straight ahead for Lounsbury, crosses the 45, gets to the 46, but it'll be 3rd down and about 4 from there. Yankton, I just have to assume, they must really be keying in on Cooper Terwilliger tonight.
Yeah, I mean, they've got to just be concentrating on, hey, this is the kid we're not going to let beat us. Ultimately, you got D1 offers. He's got to be one of your best kids on the field. And he's performed. He's caught a couple balls, and he's also been asked to do a lot of dirty work on that line and help that offensive line out as well.
3rd and 4, big play for the offense this time at the 45-yard line of the Governors. They'll fake the pitch, roll out to the right. Lounsbury takes a hit. There's Terwilliger right on cue in the buck side of the 50 to the 45-yard line, out of bounds. Caleb Lounsbury, he saw Edley Amaro coming. I believe that's Edley, and he delivers. Well done, Lounsbury. Pickup of 9 to the Yankton 46-yard line.
Yeah, nice job to stay in the pocket, just be a little bit elusive, let Cooper hit his break, and then put it right on him at the break.
Ball carrier went out of bounds. Game clock operator, please put
so
6:17 on the game
we
clock.
hear Derek Omi, our referee, on the loudspeaker. The play went out of bounds. The clock kept running, so they're resetting that. Once again, 6:17 to go. That is in the 4th quarter. 9-7. The Governors scored on the 2nd play of the night, and they haven't scored since. They're trying to put a drive together here. I think even the Governors are, they've done a great job sustaining drives all season long. They've got a good one going so far. They're about halfway there. Here's Lounsbury over the middle as he's looking for Dilgis, but this pass is overthrown. Hasselhorst is there in coverage. And
yeah, good job. I mean, probably a good job as Lincoln originally was open, but as he drops back into that cover 4 look that he had, he was going to converge on 2 guys. So airing that ball, that incompletion there maybe looks like, hey, we had a chance. But it also might have been the smart choice to not give up an interception when, of course, they're dropping into cover 4 versus the 3 look that you were expecting.
I think from up here it looked like he could have completed it. I think from Caleb Lounsbury's point of view, it probably wasn't a very good decision to try to thread the needle. Here's Lounsbury. He fakes the pitch pass to Stalley. He'll keep it himself inside the 45 down to maybe the 42-yard line, which would be a pickup of 4. Now let's give him 5 to the 41. It's 3rd and 5. And another big 3rd down opportunity coming here for the Pierre Governors.
Yeah, and I like a lot of what I'm seeing. You're seeing a little bit more motion, some pre-snap motion to be able to get Yankton to move just to see exactly what they're going to do. And then even just some misdirection with that fake handoff and then take that thing up the middle.
I'll tell you what, the Governors coming out of a huddle. Yankton still was swapping people a quick snap. Maybe they had too many on the field. Now it's Bucci up the gut. He's got the 1st down and a big barreling run inside the 40 to the 35. Call it the 34. Pick up 7 for E.J. Bucci. They'll move the chains. That's only the 3rd carry of the night for E.J. Bucci, but he's staying in there now as the Governors are into Yankton territory. Straight up ahead. Bucci just running over people, 30-yard line. I think Coach Steele was waiting for this. Pierre had a 30-yard touchdown from Bucci last week against Spearfish. That may be what they're hoping for now, or just at least for Bucci to keep pushing people back.
Yeah, you take the flip side of exactly what we talked about on that last possession. You were talking about Matthew Sheldon being able to come in, number 5, tote the ball, eat some clock. We got a 230 guy who can come in and do the exact same thing. And now once you're getting over here, you're thinking to yourself, okay, we don't have urgency, but also we're on the right side of the field. We need to keep the clock in our favor, and if we do score, don't give Yankton any more time than they need coming back.
All right, timeout called by the Bucks defensively with 4:46 to play. Let's take a 30-second break. First charge timeout for the home team. 9-7. It's Yankton on top. We're back in 30 seconds in this Coke break here at postseason football.
Agriculture is like no other business, which makes Farm Credit Services of America like no other lender. Owned by the farmers and ranchers we serve, our customers have a voice in how we work, a stake in what we do, and share in our success. Discover a lender that works for you at Farm Credit Services of America.
Getting ready to back to the Oahe Federal Credit Union press box. Oahe Federal Credit Union, where people are worth more than money.
And I think Sean Lewis, I think Coach Brady Muth realized that he had to figure something out. Otherwise, the Governors are just going to play here we come, stop us if you can, all the way to the goal line.
Yeah, stop us if we can and sit on this clock. But I think he realizes, hey, my defensive tackles do not look good right now. I got to get them some water. I got to get them some air. So let's take a timeout and do ourselves 2 favors with stop the clock and get those guys a
Over
breather.
the middle is Bucci. Faked the run, and this pass is intercepted. Bucci faked a couple of yards short. He wanted Terwilliger down the middle, but Yankton stays home. And at the 1 yard line, it is Cale Hasselhorst who picks off the pass. What a play by the Yankton defense in recognition.
Yeah, just floated that ball just maybe a little bit too much rather than putting it on a line, and it gave Hasselhorst a chance to go up there and get that ball. And you know, when you've got 6'4" versus a 6'4", that's what it is. It's a jump ball.
4:39 to go. The Governors are turned away on their second turnover of the night. They lost a fumble in the second quarter. Yankton has it at the 2 yard line. And that pass a little bit overthrown. Obviously, Bucci is not throwing a lot of passes this season.
No, but when you got a ball at the 2 here, I mean, defensively, you're going to go, okay, well, we can't let him sit and drive on us, so let's go ahead and try and get something and pin him in here.
Here comes, I believe it's Sheldon coming out of the backfield, out of the end zone. He'll reach the 4. Well, looks like the far side. The side judges only got him at the 3 yard line. By the way, we've got a 2-point ball game. The Governors, if they can get into the end zone and get a tackle or a sack, well, maybe, just maybe, they can tie this thing up. But obviously Matthew Sheldon's going to be tough to bring down if that's their MO here.
Yeah, I bet they'll stay pretty conservative here, kind of keeping it on the ground unless they notice a corner playing really far off on a quick screen.
They do have play clocks at both ends of the field. 10 seconds left on that. Yankton's going to run that down as far as they can. Delay after the clap, and here comes Nelson out of the backfield. He'll get close to a first down, but he does run out of bounds. We're going to watch the clock ourselves. The clock will stop here with the play going out of bounds at 3 minutes and 50 seconds. And Nelson runs it to the 10, so they'll still have 2 yards to try to pick up here. Third and 2.
They're 3rd and 2. Looks like Sheldon's still in there. I think we both know what's probably going to happen here for them to try and pick up this first down.
3rd and 2, the Governors probably stacking the box here. Watch Bucci, he's moving over to the right side. Lincoln Schoenhardt's going to have to cover somebody in pass pro. Snap. It is Sheldon. He bounces to the right. He'll cross the 10. He reaches. And, boy, Yankton's celebrating. I started seeing celebration, and my first look was that maybe Pierre players were celebrating something, a possible turnover. That's not the case. Sheldon picks up the first down. Yankton can continue to run some clock here. That's a gain of 3. I'll tell you what, just from the look of that run, I thought he got 6 or 7. But he gets 3 on 3rd and 2. First down, Bucks at the 13. Still in their own red zone. 3:25, clock counting down. Still 15 on the play clock here.
Yeah, good tough run. You know, you probably expect a little more from Yankton. They maybe will, come out here, take a shot, but they're definitely looking to spread the defense out and then run the ball up underneath.
Nelson will take the snap. It is still Sheldon in there, the big guy, and, well, one of the Governors has him by the ankles and not letting go. No gain. That might have been Schoenhardt who got in there. But, nope. Baxter Shrimp. Well, I tell you what, we've been calling Baxter Shrimp's name more tonight than we have all season long. Kid has come to play.
Yeah, he's definitely keeping that low center of gravity, being able to move a little bit laterally when you see that Yankton line pull, and he's added a different element to this defensive line.
2nd down and 10. And Yankton just taking their time once again. We've got 2:35 to go. 4th quarter, the winner moves on down the road about 33 miles from here to the Dakota Dome. Fake the sweep. It is Sirk. He runs outside, and he'll stay in bounds. He is tackled. Up across the 15. They'll spot him at the 17. EJ runs him out of bounds. In fact, give him 5 to the 18-yard line.
Yeah, good pickup there. I thought maybe Yankton went a little bit early, but again, those refs, it's been in the pocket the whole time. They've let these guys play.
2:05 left as it's 3rd and 5. Governor defense has taken forced one turnover tonight, but that was in Yankton's opening drive. Forced an interception in the end zone. They could really use one here. Snap, fake the handoff. And the Governors will bring down Easton Nelson. Big loss on the play, and probably Steve Steele gets a timeout
He's
here.
immediately on the field, making sure that ref did not let another second come off that clock before he got his timeout.
Nelson tackled all the way back to the 12-yard line. That's a loss of 6, and as the timeout is taken, we're going to keep it here. as it was just a clock stopper. Nelson loses 6 on the play. Matthew Sheldon will punt for the 3rd time. And that is the first, correct me if I'm wrong, charge timeout for the Governors. Now they'll huddle up. Let's take a quick 30-second Coca-Cola timeout. We're back as the Govs trail by 2. They're getting it with a punt when we return with Pierre semifinal football.
Game or getting back afterwards, DJ Senix is a must before or after your travels. DJ Senix has a great selection of hot and cold snacks. They're second to none for your choice of hot or cold beverages too. And when you're heading out, be sure to fuel up with quality from the pumps at DJ's with 3 different grades. Back late? No problem. DJ's features pay at the pump convenience 24 hours a day. DJ Senix, 507 West Sioux and Pierre. Your choice for quality service and selection.
Fentanyl is back to the Oahe Federal Credit Union press box. Oahe Federal Credit Union, where people are worth more than money.
Welcome back. Ryan Oakland, Sean Lewis, Sheldon will kick. It's a low line drive. It's taken by George Stalley at the 44-yard line.
Let's go.
Stalley far side to the 30, to the 20, still on his feet. Now out of bounds into the red zone. The Governors get a big return from George Stalley, and Pierre in business with a minute and a half left. And you know what? It's only a 2-point game. You do not need a touchdown necessarily. Obviously, Pierre is going to try to get as much as they can. But Stalley with a big return. Chase Platt runs him out of bounds. And the Governors have it 1st and 10. Where? At the 18-yard line, I believe. Yeah. And again, 90 seconds to go with a trip to the Dome on the line. The winner probably plays Watertown. They lead Brookings 20-0.
Yeah, ball security, possession. Still probably got to get a couple more yards. Ultimately, you'd love the touchdown instead of putting it on the foot of your freshman. But you know what? If he's called, I've seen it out of Templeton. He can get it done.
Bucci is running out of the quarterback position to the 10, to the 5. No, it's just inside the 10. Now, out of bounds. It's a chain mover. They do run it out of bounds. The clock will stop. That's only 7 seconds off the clock. But I tell you what, if you've got E.J. Bucci right now, the Governors are feeling pretty comfortable. That is a gain of... It started at the 18. It looks like they have it at the 9.
Yeah, we've got E.J. Bucci, and I've got goosebumps because I tell you what, this is exactly what you want. With about a minute left, you've got the ball. You're inside the 10-yard line, and you've got that load absolutely wanting to get this thing done, because if I know a kid who loves it and loves football, not a kid on this team more than Elijah Bucci.
It's 10 yards. It's at the 8. 1st down and goal to go. They drop the chains. Bucci has it. Right side. He's met at the numbers. He'll go inside the 5-yard line. The Governors are pushing him.
I got it.
Touchdown, I believe. Where's the signal?
Well, they're looking at it at the 1. I'm not sure.
Nope.
We haven't gotten a signal yet.
We've got refs coming in from the side. It looks like at the 2. Boy, everybody just ended up in the end zone. Really thought that was 6. And they'll stop the clock. They're marking it at the 1. With 44 seconds left, we're going to keep it here. A timeout has been called, and it is to, well, they haven't put it on the board yet. We can catch our breaths here. Coca-Cola break. Kind of getting ahead of ourselves here, but I tell you what, the Governors, who are the 4 seed here after a 4-game losing streak mid-season, they're coming in winners of a 4 straight. They lose 35-7, game 4 of the season to this Yankton Buck team. They're trying to get Lightning to strike again here at Crane Youngworth Field. A 6-yard gain for E.J. Bucci on 1st and goal. Now it is 2nd and goal. The Govs have it at the 2-yard line. Bucci again is the only guy in the backfield. He'll take a quarterback snap. He's coming right at you. Stop him if you can. From the far hash mark, onto our left side of the field, into the student body. Bucci trying to reach, trying to push. Nope, he's not going to get there. He may have gotten nothing on this play.
2-yard line.
And a good job by the Bucks.
And the clock keeps running.
Stand him up. That was a Yankton timeout. Pierce still has 2 to use. It is still apparently at the 2-yard line.
And we're a bunch more time is running off this clock than I thought originally they were going to allow.
Well, I think
Looks
the
like
Governors,
Steve Steele's calling a timeout.
Are they going to just try to kick a field goal here? I think he's leaving himself with one more play. Time for one more play. If he can't get Bucci into the end zone, he'll probably bring out the field goal unit.
This is their third and final
Third charge timeout, and this one again.
Yeah, what a time to use it. Super smart decision here by Steve Steele to go ahead and take that, but yet get it down. I don't think you necessarily center it up. I think you go for this touchdown, but again, if you don't get it, you immediately get your butt out on the field calling that timeout to be able to get Templeton and his crew set up and ready to roll.
9-7, and Yankton, actually the scoreboard says timeouts left, 0 for Yankton. The Governors still have 2. I'm a little surprised Yankton calls the timeout here, but I think maybe Coach Steele would have anyway. But now 10 seconds left. This one's coming down to the end. I'll tell you what, this this couldn't be any better of an opportunity for a bunch of varsity inexperienced kids to try to go to the dome. Bucci stands at his 5. He'll take the shotgun snap. Straight ahead. Touchdown! Touchdown, E.J. Bucci from 2 yards out, and the Governors lead 13-9. Time on the clock. 8 seconds left.
And Yankton is shocked.
It worked out perfectly for the Governors. They started this drive with 1.5 minutes left after a long punt return by George Stalley, who got it to the 18-yard line. Carter Templeton will try for 1. The PAT to make it a 5-point game. Actually, it could go for 2 and try to make it a 6-point game. Doesn't matter here. The kick is good. It's 14-9 with 8 ticks to go on a chance to go to the Dakota Dome for the 8th straight time. Again, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's pause for 30 seconds. Pierre kicks off when we come back with more Pierre Governor semifinal football.
Synthetic opioid, up to 100 times stronger than morphine. Even a tiny amount can be deadly. It's often mixed with other drugs without your knowledge, increasing your risk of overdose. Protect yourself and your loved ones and avoid unknown substances. Stay informed, stay safe, and remember, one pill can kill. For more information on fentanyl prevention, visit your local health resource or speak to a healthcare professional today. This message was brought to you by the Great Plains Tribal Opioid Response, so that the people may live.
Welcome back to the Oahe Federal Credit Union Press Box. Oahe Federal Credit Union, where people are worth more than money.
Drive slower, live longer.
Back in Yankton, 4 plays, 18 yards. E.J. Bucci running one in from 2 yards out to give the Governors a 5-point lead. 14-9, and again, they could have gone for 2 to try to at least make it a 6-point game, just in case Yankton runs one back, and you could take your chances with a conversion of any kind. But 8 seconds left. The Governors will trust their special teams. Here comes a squib kick. High bounce. It's up over the top, and Yankton has to fall on a who knows where it's going, bouncing football. Matt Grotenheis at the 22-yard line. Yankton 78 yards on do or die. 6 seconds to play.
Well, job's not done here. You got a job on defense. You got to be able to keep everything in front of you. You got Cooper Terwilliger here playing center field as deep as he possibly can. Do not get beat deep.
And the Governors will check things out on offense. They'll take a timeout. They still have 1 to use here. 6 seconds to play. We're going to keep it here. The winner again on to the Dakota Dome. Of course, the Governors have been there and won the last 7, which is unprecedented, let alone what could be 8. And again, they probably play Watertown if that is the case. Watertown had a 20-0 lead. The Governors, if they make it, will be the second Central South Dakota team that would go. Sully Buttes has defeated Canastota 34-28. How about that? And Caleb Brozik's Winter Warriors, they're heading back too, as they defeated St. Thomas More.
And their freshman phenom quarterback.
Yeah. Faulkton area had a lead earlier. We'll get all of the scores to you coming up in our Family Dental post game. The Governor defense has 1 play to make, maybe 2. Well, they only need 1 stop. Yankton may try something quick to the edge for just a few more yards. but it's 1st and 10 at the 22-yard line. Easton Nelson goes over the middle, has Connor Slava. He's trying to get out of bounds. Nope, they'll pass it back. It's a lateral. Here comes another one.
Governors
the Governors
on it.
are
Here we
running
go.
it, and the Pierre Governors are off to the Dakota Dome for the 8th straight time as the play stops at the 45-yard line. Call it a 23-yard gain, but the Yankton Bucks are shell-shocked again by the Pierre Governors. Your final score on the Gales Gas Service scoreboard, it's Pierre 14, the Bucks 9. Pierre scores on the second drive, the second play of the game. They didn't score again until the second to last play of the game. They win it 14-9. They improved to 7-4 on the season. Yankton falls to 8-3 in a fine season for Coach Brady Muth and his cast of great players. But this time, yet again, it's the Governors moving on to the Dakota Dome. Scoreboard brought to you by Gales Gas Service in Pierre. Use their budget plan and keep full service to stay warm all season long with Gales Gas Service in Pierre. Coach Steele is all by himself just celebrating out here. Coach Thorson joins him, and the Pierre Governors, it never gets old. It's fresh and new every single season, but here they go again as they defeat the Yankton Bucks. You just don't beat the Pierre Governors twice in a season.
Yeah,
that's how it is.
That's a fun embrace to sit and watch because, I mean, you just think of what this team has went through, and you just got to stick with it and believe in yourself, believe in the process, believe in your kids. It's not easy to do in the pressure when you're number one, but when you're the underdog, it feels just so much more sweet.
Absolutely. So 14-9 your final, again, on the Gales Gas Service scoreboard. Lots to talk about when we come back for our Family Dental postgame after a 3-minute timeout. Of course, a conversation with a winning head coach who might be a Hall of Famer already, I'm just saying, but with what he had to work with this year. But, wow, let's catch our breaths, and we'll be back. We've got the full recap, stats. We've got your Hermanson Endodontics big plays of the game. We've got your Cowboy Country Stores players of the game. We'll pick a couple out tonight once again. And, of course, all of that in our Family Dental postgame. 3 minutes as the Govs win. Your official voice of the Govs, River 92.7 and DRGnews.com.
The team at Family Dental in Pierre and Gettysburg are devoted to spending time with each patient to answer all questions and address any concerns that arise. Family Dental wants all their current and future patients to feel welcome and comfortable and to have the healthiest, best-looking smile possible. They can take care of all your family's dental needs with cleanings, checkups, same-day crowns, and many other dental services. Family Dental in Pierre and Gettysburg, caring for all your family's dental needs. Call Family Dental at 224-7774 today. Superior Concrete is proud to sponsor the Governors this season and just as proud to offer the finest concrete solutions available for commercial and residential applications, as well as foundation and flat work. The bottom line, if you need anything done with concrete, we can do it. Superior Concrete. Give us a call today for an estimate or more information. That's Superior Concrete. Find us on Facebook or call the office at 605-494-0102. That's 494-0102. Call today.
Do you love watching high school sports but find yourself wanting to be more involved? Live Ticket TV has the solution for you. They're looking for production managers to assist for this school year. Duties include the management of equipment as well as a basic technological understanding. But don't stress, paid training will be provided. Part-time wages starting at $20 an hour. Call 833-605-LIVE, extension 3. That's 833-605-5483, extension 3, and punch your ticket to joining one of the fastest growing companies in South Dakota.
Chances are you're overlooking a big energy thief in your home or commercial building. The Garage Doors. But Overhead Door Company of Pierre can help stop that energy waste with a full range of insulated, weather-tight garage doors. Their residential garage doors give you insulated performance at an uninsulated price. And their Thermocore insulated steel doors give commercial buildings the energy efficiency they demand today. Find out more. Call Overhead Door Company of Pierre at 1-800-649-9905 and put a stop to the garage door energy thief.
This is Coach Scott Nye from your Pierre Governors and the team at Ranky Gray Wealth Management, where we focus on coaching something just as important, your finances. Everyone needs guidance through life's key financial decisions and challenges, not to mention the opportunity to feel confident that their retirement strategy will help them pursue the lifestyle they've dreamed about. As you're looking for the right team to assist you, we're right up the street and ready to provide you the help that can make all the difference. Contact our Pierre office today by visiting rankygray.com.
From the early days of South Dakota statehood through today's digital revolution, BankWest has remained committed to helping customers and communities succeed. BankWest Associates uphold this commitment by developing innovative products, tailoring financial solutions to customer needs, and actively supporting community causes. For a bank committed to helping you and your community prosper, choose BankWest. BankWest. Convenient, connected, committed. Member FDIC.
Well, we're back at Crane Youngworth Field in Yankton, and the Yankton crowd who had so much to look forward to coming into this game. But again, I think if anybody knows high school football and 11 AA, they are going to know that the last team you really want to play in the postseason is going to be the Pierre Governors. It's a scary opportunity, well, a scary thing to do, just knowing that, boy, you've got to play almost a perfect game. And, well, neither of these teams are perfect at all. But, the Yankton Bucks, they ran the ball up and down the field, Sean Lewis, tonight, and the Governors, the defensive stops in this game. You intercept them in the end zone. You get a goal line stand on the second possession of the game, and you're still up 7-0. Yeah, they got it in on the third possession. They got a field goal after a takeaway, maybe with a little bit of good fortune and what may have been an inadvertent whistle or whatever to set up that field goal at the end. They lead 9-7, but through the second half, the Governor defense makes the adjustments, as they always do, and they get the stops that they need. They started forcing punts, and obviously you get the field position in your favor. George Stalley comes up big with a punt return. E.J. Bucci does what E.J. Bucci does, and the Governors are going to the Dome. The Governors are doing what the Governors do. They go to the Dome for the 8th year in a row.
Yeah, just fantastic game plan. I mean, fantastic effort by the kids. You could see right away when they came out. I mean, they were believing in themselves. They, decided they wanted to come out and hit Yankton in the mouth, and then you had to bob and weave for a little bit. It was a fight. It was back and forth. Yankton came surging there at the end of the third quarter. Inadvertent whistle, whatever. You got to play with the situation. The weather conditions, which weren't conditions, it was fantastic football weather tonight. But with the way the reffing was, and which was, I thought, phenomenal, by the way. So it's in no way a pot shot at the refs. Like they let things play out. I think that's the way playoff football should be. And they get those extra points, but you just keep coming and you just keep swinging and you make an adjustment, you make another one, and ultimately, like we said right at halftime, is stats don't really matter. The only one is that scoreboard and the time of possession and the yards gained pass versus run. Don't care. We get to go celebrate at the Dome and hopefully win another one.
The best crews get the semifinals. The better crews get the Dome games. And again, great job by the officials. Great job by the Yankton Bucks. And it's just I'd call it just played so many memorable games over the last 4 or 5 years in particular. Of course, you go back, let's say 10, 11 years, and Yankton had that Dome win in overtime. But I mean, it's just you're still playing tonight, but it just doesn't matter. You've got Coach Muth and his guys, Pierre, to have these 10 guys on the sideline and in the booth.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really good group. I mean, it's a brotherhood. So I mean, they're not out, and then eventually culture lasted through 7. Still gotten the job done. We've had 2 lost teams. We've had undefeated 1. I think we even had a 3-loss team in there. So you know what? 4 losses. We built. We learned. We were young. Now we're better.
But I think the Governor kids that are out there, you got to give them credit. There's pressure on them. They don't want to be the team that ends the run of Dome trips, and hopefully not championships as well. But the kids for years have just learned from you guys, from you coaches and the coaches that we've got here. They just learn, they absorb, and they follow through on what they've learned.
Yeah, and when you have a young team and they've got that pressure, I mean, that's probably the reason why you saw the 4 losses in a row, is they were just beating themselves up. Hey, we take another loss, and then we snowball it into another. And then, you know what, by the time you get your 4th loss, you're like, there's no more monkey on the back. It's gone. Let's play loose. Let's play free. I mean, they had a couple injuries. They had to overcome that. And so it's like, what else do you do besides throw caution to the wind and just give it everything you have for the remainder of your season, because you don't ever know when it's going to be over, and I think that's what you saw tonight.
Talk about the Yankton Bucks. I mean, obviously they didn't score enough points, but I mean, you think about everything they wanted to come in here and do, and they always want to be physical. And I feel like I think the physicality was a 50-50 battle here tonight. And you know, obviously you got guys like Bucci making some hard tackles. You got Matthew Sheldon running through. Obviously, Bucci gets the last laugh in that regard. But I mean, this was football in its finest in high school in South Dakota. I thought. Yeah,
it was fun. I mean, the coach, like you said, both of them talked about winning that line of scrimmage, and for the first 3.5, even 3 and 75% of the fourth quarter, it was an absolute stalemate of an offensive versus defensive line on, with both colors. And you started to see the push just a little bit there when the Govs got the ball back, and you started to see a little bit more. And, then you throw in Bucci just like they threw in Sheldon, and both of them knew, exactly game plans as far as what's going on. And it's just absolutely fun to see, like, just sticking with it through thick and thin and being able to get to this point and back to the Dome, which ultimately the Dome is home.
Well, Dome away from home, and I'll ask the coach the same thing, but, now you're a fan, and everybody's kind of feeling the same way. It still never gets old. It's just it's just part of the tradition now, and everybody expects to be going to where they're heading, as Coach Steve Steele has just walked in to the room.
Well, I didn't earn this headset. He gets to get it, man. Here in this championship headset, so I'm going to turn it over to him and see all Governor faithful next weekend at the Dome.
All right, Sean Lewis, big thanks, man. Sean Lewis helping us out, color commentating. He's got family to get to. Coach Steele is up here. He might need a minute to catch his breath. And actually, let's take why don't we take a 1-minute timeout? We'll let the coach kind of collect his thoughts and his breath. It is quite a ways up here, especially when you're celebrating like the Governors are tonight. 14-9 on your Gales Gas Service scoreboard. Our Family Dental postgame with the coach continues in 1 minute. This is Governor postseason football.
And Oahe Federal Credit Union is here with our holiday loan special. Borrow up to $1,500 for 12 months at just 5% APR. Whether it's for gifts or travel, we've got you covered. Stop by or apply online, oahefcu.coop, and make your holidays stress-free with Oahe Federal Credit Union's holiday loan special.
People helping people. Oahe Federal Credit Union.
From the early days of South Dakota statehood through today's digital revolution, BankWest has remained committed to helping customers and communities succeed. BankWest Associates uphold this commitment by developing innovative products, tailoring financial solutions to customer needs, and actively supporting community causes. For a bank committed to helping you and your community prosper, choose BankWest. BankWest, convenient, connected, committed. Member FDIC.
Back in our Family Dental postgame, 14-9. The Governors defeat the Yankton Bucks tonight, and I said it before, we'll mention it again. The Governors scored on the second play of the game from 58 yards out. Caleb Lounsbury to Carter Shufflebind, and George Stalley gets an interception in the end zone. The Governors get a goal line stop at the 2-yard line in the first quarter. They do yield a touchdown to Evan Sirk from 5 yards out at the end of the first half. Missed extra point that banged off the upright kept it 7-6, but after a Pierre fumble, Yankton recovers, and they go into the halftime after kicking a 38-yard field goal from Leon Villanueva, 9-7. The halftime score. We came out in back-to-back punts with both teams combined. Yankton had a drive long sustained with 2:38 to go in the third quarter from their own 13-yard line, but 11 plays later the drive stalls and they have to punt at the 41, and Pierre gets a drive from their own 12-yard line, and they also go 10 plays, but on that 10th play, a pass intercepted. E.J. Bucci tried to fake a run, throw over the top to Cooper Terwilliger near the goal line. It was intercepted by Cale Hasselhorst. And Yankton from the 2-yard line couldn't get much further than one first down pickup. They punt. George Staley with a long punt return of from the 44 all the way down to the 18-yard line of the Yankton Bucks. 4 plays later, it's all E.J. Bucci. The big fella rambles in from 2 yards out with 8 seconds left. Pierre kicks the PAT, 14-9. Yankton only had time for one play after recovering a squib kick, and they picked up yardage, but the ball game is over after a couple of laterals, and the Governors fell on a loose football. 14-9. Govs onto the dome. Steve Steele, go.
Yeah, man. I mean, I don't know where to start. I mean, I'm heart rate's almost under 150 now. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else I can say. I'm so proud of this team, for this senior group to go through what they went through this season. I mean, there's a lot of people not thinking we were going to be playing this week, more or less next week. So, I mean, I'm very, very proud just of the grit and the determination, the fortitude of that group. This would have been a very, very easy season to bail on.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we lost one game in the last 2 years, and we lost 4 in a month. So, I mean, it had been very, very easy for the guys to pack up shop, move on to the next sports season, get focused on basketball, wrestling, and hockey. And instead we're going to go to the Dome. So, you know, that doesn't happen. I mean, you can say, coaches, yeah, it was fun, we did good, but, I mean, the kids did this, and the kids, this senior group, held this team together through that because they didn't want to go out that way.
You came in with a game plan against this Yankton team that obviously manhandled you on homecoming night, and yeah, things have changed a lot in the Governor locker room and on on the field for your team. But in order to beat this team that I think proved itself to be the best team in the class all season long, you had to come up with something different. You know, Coach Lewis talks about, and you'd mentioned as well when we talked yesterday about finding tendencies and trying to take things away. And, you know, boy, I tell you what, a bend don't break. They had a lot of yards tonight, but only one trip to the end zone. You found those tendencies and you know, just made more plays.
Yeah, you know, that's what it was. I mean, the kids, you know, they felt very much more prepared this week. You know, I think that homecoming loss, that was on us. I mean, the coaches, we weren't good enough that day. You know, we weren't unprepared for their tempo as well as we should have been. We weren't prepared offensively for some of the things they had. You know, and I think today, I mean, that's a good team. I mean, that Yankton team, like you said, they proved it. They were a very, very good football team. Just not tonight. We were better, one play better than them tonight.
I think you must have scripted that second play of the game, the over the top 58 yards, and I mean, it's a perfect play, and you get a good start. You punch him in the mouth. How was the feeling on the sideline after seeing that come together?
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. You know, I mean, you know, we kind of talked in the pregame. We had a few shot plays that we had designed that we felt like we could get something on them with a good matchup. We hit that one. We hit some other ones, but they were more for, you know, 20 to 30 yard gains. We weren't able to shake the tackle that we needed to shake to score. But, you know, I thought we did a very good job executing a lot of those one-time use plays. You know, Stolly on the reverse there had a really good play on that. We put the you know, praise the Lord, help us out package where we put half the linemen out on the edge there to try and get a couple first downs, just kind of, you know, shock the system a little bit and hopefully, you know, get some of that momentum. You know, that was kind of the tipping point where we felt this is where we got to make our push for it. And we're just very thankful that the defense gave us one more shot after that pick.
Yankton always wants to be physical. I thought they played a real physical game. We mentioned that as being kind of a 50-50, but really the defense makes plays all season long. And when you get the interception from Staley in the end zone and that goal line stand in the first quarter, I mean, Yankton could have taken control of this game in that first half of play. You just didn't let them do it.
Yeah, and again, the defensive staff's been phenomenal. You know, they had a really good beat on tendencies from Yankton. They had a really good idea of what they were going to try and do schematically, formationally, motions, and all those different things. You know, and they showed it today. You know, they were able to get some plays on us. They drove the ball, but you know, when it came to crunch time, they had a really good beat on ways to keep them out. And where they lost, that's the tough part in the red zone. Is you lose that space. You know, you can't get the downfield spacing that you want. And I think our guys did a really good job when they lost that spacing.
Second half, you make the adjustments. You're down 9-7, and probably kind of a bad break that made it 9-7 that allowed the field goal coming up. But you know, I think right away we know up here you're going to be making the adjustments that you need. First time in the game, you force a punt, then you do it again, and now you're starting to play that field position game. And obviously, in the end, you win the field position, you win the football game.
Yeah, an underrated aspect tonight, Caleb Lounsbury punted the ball extremely well.
54 yards on the spiral.
So,
yeah.
I mean, you wouldn't necessarily think that the quarterback is going to have a heck of a punting day, but, I mean, that was big. And, again, I think that was, again, part of the pride that I have in this team is finding ways to win, not the normal ways that we've won in the past. I mean, that was a full-team football game. We haven't played a whole bunch of 14-9 football games in the last 9 years, but to find a way to do that today and be on the 14 side was a lot of fun.
And just trying to think of some individual performances. I think we heard Baxter Schrempf's name get called more tonight than he did all season long. He comes in the nose, and, I mean, just a run stuffer. You have to stuff the run all night long. It wasn't easy, but I think he did a heck of a job.
He did, and again, he's a kid, one of those seniors, where things weren't going well. And, we asked him midseason to move over to the defensive side of the ball. I mean, he started the first 5 or 6 games on the offensive side. Obviously through some of the injuries and everything, we found ourselves needing a body and wanted to move EJ out a little bit. And he went right over there, and he's made a huge difference. So, again, one of those seniors that had every opportunity to send it home and, not continue to want to play the hardest that you can. And, again, just like all the rest of the seniors, another great example of what happens when you can just go through the hard times to come out on top.
Well, I won't keep anybody in suspense. I got a T-shirt for you coming his way, but we're going to do another one. EJ, among others, the defense. I mean, you're chasing this great quarterback, Easton Nelson, all over the place, and I mean, you even sacked him 4 times on my stat sheet. So the defensive, the rush, the pressure, and even when Matt Sheldon's running the football, 230. I mean, you got him for some big stops, and it isn't just EJ. There's a lot of guys playing great. Max Hunsley played a great game tonight too.
He did, and that's, I mean, Max didn't start last week. That's the crazy part of this team right now is, I mean, we've got really good football players, but we're trying to put the best puzzle together each game. Last game, Coulter was a better fit for that puzzle. This week, Max was a better fit for that puzzle. And, last week he wasn't upset about it. He was a very team first. He still went in and played great, and then comes back, starts, and has that performance tonight. That's just, what can you say about, we could do that with all these different seniors. We're just so proud of all these kids.
Yeah, I know you got other commitments. Final thoughts going to the Dome for the 8th time. We asked you if it was one of the best games, and you said best semifinal game ever, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to beat. I mean, this is a really fun place to play a football game. Outside of Hollister Field, this is probably the most fun, and it's definitely a lot more fun when you win.
20-7 Watertown, still not over yet, but let's just ask you about Watertown real quick.
Yeah, I mean, that's another team that got us. They were kind of the ones that started that skid. Honestly, haven't watched a second of their film in probably 8 weeks or 6 weeks, so I know what we'll be doing the weekend.
All right, say goodbye to the wife and watch some film, and we'll see you next Friday night in the Dome, Coach. Congratulations.
Thanks, guys.
It will be Watertown. They have beaten Brookings 20-7. We'll get you some T-shirts later on, Coach. As the Governors win this one 14-9, we gave you the recap. Here are the stats as Yankton will outgain Pierre unofficially 350-263. Let's start on the Yankton side. 212 overall on the ground, including 115 for Evan Sirk on 28 carries, and he had the 5-yard touchdown, the only touchdown of the night for the Yankton Bucks. Easton Nelson will run 72 yards on 9 carries. His biggest of the night was 39 yards to set up Sirk's 5-yard touchdown run. Matthew Sheldon 8 carries for 26 yards, 212 on the ground for the Bucks. A great throwing percentage, completion percentage for Easton Nelson, 15 of 18 tonight for 139 yards, no touchdowns. He did throw the interception to put an end to their opening drive as George Staley picked him off in the end zone, but 4 times Nelson is brought down by quarterback sack for 11 yards lost, so 128 net passing for the Bucks, 212 on the ground, 350 total. Receiving wise, they spread it around. 6 different Yankton Bucks caught passes tonight. Connor Slava catches 3 for 42 yards. Carson Ness 3 catches 41 yards. Bryce Krall 3 catches for 33 yards. Cohen Zarbach 3 catches for 22 yards. I've got Owen Eidsness 2 catches for 11 yards, and Evan Sirk caught 1 ball for a loss of 3 yards as Yankton tried to throw a different look in the second half that did not work. But the Bucks pick up 18 first downs along the way. Big interception was Staley's pickoff in the end zone, the only Yankton turnover and that came on their first offensive possession. But Yankton just didn't get into the end zone enough tonight to move on to Vermilion. 263 total for the Governors, 101 yards of that on the ground. Carter Merrill with 15 carries and 47 yards. E.J. Bucci, 8 carries, 33 yards. The final say on the 2-yard barrel-ahead touchdown to put the Governors in the lead for good. And George Stalley had 1 carry for 12 yards. Caleb Lounsbury, 5 keepers for just 9 yards, 101 on the ground. Lounsbury through the air is 7 of 15 for 152 yards. E.J. Bucci threw 1 pass tonight. It was picked off on a play that just didn't work. But so 7 of 16 overall, 152. Carter Shufflebein with 4 catches for 91 yards overall, and of course the 58-yarder to start the scoring tonight on the second play of the game. George Stalley had 1 catch for 30 yards. Cooper Terwilliger finally caught 2 passes in the second half for a total of 16 yards. Pierre was only penalized 1 time tonight for a loss of 10 yards. It was a holding penalty early on. They picked up 5 first downs in the first half. They pick up 6 in the second half, so 11 overall. And even though they had 2 turnovers, an interception by Bucci and a fumble lost by Lounsbury, still the Governors win this one by the score of 14-9. With that said, obviously big plays are being made along the way. We've got big plays to talk about. They're brought to you by Hermanson Endodontics in Pierre. Let's hear from Hermanson's. We come back with the big plays. And our Family Dental postgame continues. Governors win on River 92.7.
Quality comes first at Hermanson Endodontics. Dr. Brian Hermanson serves Central South Dakota with specialty root canal treatment. Hermanson Endodontics strives to provide treatment that's not only comfortable, but also provides the best possible outcome. They do this by effective and timely communication with your dentist and preserving as much healthy tooth as possible using state-of-the-art 3-dimensional imaging and the dental operating microscope to guide diagnosis and treatment. Ask your dentist if a root canal specialist is right for you. Hermanson Endodontics in Pierre.
Hermanson Endodontics, big plays of the game, and I think everything we're going to talk about in big plays of the game, you've already heard about them. The 58-yard touchdown, punching the Bucks in the mouth, proverbially, to start. Caleb Lounsbury to Carter Shufflebein. I mean, you got it. Obviously, in a game that turned out this way, you've got to take your points however you get them, and I don't know if Yankton was ready for that one, but Pierre was leading 49 seconds into this game, 7-0, and at the 8:51 mark of the second quarter, with Yankton taking a long sustained drive, of the first quarter rather, Yankton's 8th play of the game. They were throwing into the end zone. They had a man open, but George Stalley cut off the route, and he intercepted the pass. That was on a 4th down play, if I remember correctly. And nope, that was actually on a 2nd down play. So George Stalley comes up with a huge play to keep Yankton off the board. There was a goal line stand on a 16-play drive by the Bucks on their second possession as they kept the Bucks out of the end zone, they needed a first down. They could have got a first down past the 2-yard line, and the Govs stopped them short of that by a couple of inches after a measurement, so that was a big turn away as well for the Govs. Yankton gets a good drive. They get the lead, but in the second half, the defense comes up big. They force a couple of punts. In fact, 4 punts, in fact, every drive that Yankton had in the second half, except for the last opportunity in desperation. But they forced punts. They even gave up 3 first downs at the end of the third quarter into the fourth. But from there, the second half, big plays especially after E.J. Bucci was on the move, but Pierre faked the run and threw over the top. Yankton made a huge play intercepting the Governors at the 2-yard line, but field position is gained by the Governors, and after a punt, George Stalley comes up with, I believe, about a 26-yard punt return that set the Governors up in the Yankton red zone. And 4 plays later, E.J. Bucci muscles it in. Well, he just barreled it in from 2 yards out. That after Yankton stopped him on one attempt. I don't think Bucci was going to be denied at all as he went the other way on the next one. 2 yards, and the Governors take the lead with 8 seconds left in the game, 14-9. Yankton couldn't get the Cal Stanford play to work, and the Govs are moving on because of those big plays of the game. Brought to you by Hermanson Endodontics in Pierre. Well, we've kind of taken the suspense away from one of our players of the game. Coming up, players of the game are sponsored by Cowboy Country Stores in Pierre and Fort Pierre, and we'll talk about those when we come back. Hear this from Cowboy Country Stores. We'll talk more about our Governor victory tonight on River 92.7.
Howdy, partners. Did you know that you can save up to 30 cents on a gallon of gas instantly when you use the Sinclair DinoPay app at all Cowboy Country Store locations? It's true, and it's fast, secure, and simple to use. Just go to your app store and download the green DinoPay app, follow the prompts, and save big money at the pump today.
Convenience from the country. Cowboy Country Stores.
Cowboy Country Stores, players of the game, and there's a lot of guys I think that you could certainly give a player of the game to. I think they've got shirts already from this season. E.J. Bucci is one of those guys. I think Carter Shufflebein. Hey, Carter, if you don't have a T-shirt yet, I actually can't remember. I think you've had a big game earlier this year, might already have a T-shirt. If he doesn't have one, let me know. I'm going to give him one tonight. He was huge. 58-yard touchdown, but he also caught 3 other passes that were chain movers tonight. A big 24-yarder, had a big 15-yarder as well. Carter played a great game tonight offensively. One guy, as we talked about with Coach Lewis and Coach Steele, getting his name called more than ever tonight. Baxter Schremp, the senior nose tackle. He's in on a bunch of stops, stuffing runs. Baxter Schremp is tonight's player of the game, brought to you, by Cowboy Country Stores. And another guy that we talked to the coach about, Max Hunsley, from the linebacking position. He was all over the field tonight, too. So he also is a player of the game T-shirt recipient. As those guys from the defense, the unsung seniors of this team, are leading this team back to the Dakota Dome. Your players of the game, brought to you by Cowboy Country Stores in Pierre and Fort Pierre. The full look at scores coming up, but a quick reminder that this playoff game broadcast is being brought to you by this station, River 92.7, and our advertisers and these member schools of the South Dakota High School Activities Association. No rebroadcast in whole or in part may be made without written permission of the SDHSAA. Quick reminder, Pierre Governor Volleyball is still have one game to go. They've got Sodak 16 matchup. It's not official yet, but Pierre probably will be going back to Sioux Falls Jefferson next Thursday night in a game that I think is going to be scheduled for 6 o'clock, a 5:30 pregame here. Programming notes on River 92.7 and drgnews.com. Here are the scores. Pierre beating Yankton 14-9. They're heading to the Dome for the 8th year in a row, trying to make it 8 straight. They'll take on the Watertown Arrows, and Pierre has 8 championships overall. The first one ever came in 2013 when they beat Watertown. They'll try to do that again. The Arrows defeat Brookings tonight 20-7. The 11 AAA games are done. Sioux Falls Lincoln defeats Harrisburg 20-14, and Brandon Valley outlasts Sioux Falls Jefferson 37-34. The 11 AAA game is Saturday night. Next weekend, the 11 AA game is Friday night at 7 o'clock. That's where we'll have Pierre and Watertown, of course, here on River 92.7. Lennox surprises Del Rapids tonight in 11A 35-0. The Orioles are peaking right now. They'll take on top seed and unbeaten Sioux Falls Christian next week on Saturday afternoon as Sioux Falls Christian beats West Central 31-7. The 11B game is Friday afternoon. It'll be winter back in the Dome, 36-0 for Caleb Brozick and his boys. The Warriors will take on Sioux Valley. It'll be 2 unbeatens when Sioux Valley, after Sioux Valley has beaten Elk Point Jefferson 28-14. In 9AA, it's Hamlin. They're going back. They beat Elkton Lake Benton 20-16. They'll take on unbeaten Parkston. Great game, 28-22. The Trojans are trying to repeat as champions. Wall stumbles to a 30-28 loss. Woolsey Wessington goes for 2 on a late touchdown and gets it. It's the Warbirds into the Dome. They'll take on Howard, who suddenly turned on the Jets, and they ran past Warner tonight 40-13. 9AA is a Thursday night championship game. 9A, we should say. That was Woolsey Wessington and Howard. That is scheduled for Thursday in the middle of the afternoon. And then 9B, Sully Buttes, the Chargers, going to the Dome. They'll take on a team maybe from their own backyard in the Faulkton area. Trojans. Faulkton beats Del Rapids St. Mary 48-22. Sully Buttes over Canastota 34-28. Where are you, Mark Seffner? Still appreciate you forever and ever. Sully Buttes to the Dome. Sorry about that. As they'll take on the Faulkton Trojans. Justin Cowart will have that game on KGFX, we believe. We'll figure that out. That'll be Thursday at 11 o'clock for the 9B Championship. We want to congratulate Pine Ridge, who has beaten Winnebago, Nebraska 42-40 in double overtime in the Class A All-Nations Championship. There was something like 40-plus penalties for 400 yards, 49 penalties, 400 yards in that game, but Pine Ridge wins it, and Lower Brule is well on their way to their third straight All-Nations State Championship. They lead White River 46-0. That game is actually on 94.5 KPLO, 100.5 Pierre and Fort Pierre with Darren Boyle on the call. Well, that'll do it for us tonight. Once again, it's Governor Volleyball Thursday, the Sodac 16, likely at Sioux Falls Jefferson. And then Friday night, a week from tonight, the Govs are back Dome again, as they'll take on the Watertown Arrows. We'll be on the air, I'm going to say probably about a 6:15 pregame Friday night, as one of my guys will join me, if not two of them, and we will bring you coverage of yet another Pierre Governor chance at a state football title. Going for 8 straight. Nobody's ever done that. Nobody's ever done 7. The Governors are going again. Pierre and Watertown next Friday night here on River 92.7. Big thanks to Caleb Brozick, as we appreciate your efforts. This will be our last football game to cover. We'll see you Thursday from Sioux Falls Jefferson for volleyball. But to William Wilson, Willie, running the show in studio. For Sean Lewis tonight, covering the color commentary duties, I'm Brian Oakland. Your final score on the Gales Gas Service scoreboard: the Govs win. The Govs win 14-9 over the Yankton Bucks. This has been a presentation of DRG Media Group. DRG News, your official voice of the Pierre Governors. And one final reminder on behalf of the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety, who celebrates being a part of a team, buckling up, the best way to save a life in a crash. Do it for your friends and your family. You've got someplace to be. 14-9. Govs win. Have a great weekend, everybody. Good night from Yankton. Govs win.